Hey, it's Nina.
And Ashley back with the bullshit.
And this is the Young and Getting It podcast. Just so you know, you can catch us on Apple Podcasts or iTunes. Just search Young and Getting It podcast. There's no G at the end of getting because we're millennials and we're young, so why not slang it out? Please subscribe on there, rate and review. We love all of them. We're also on soundcloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Not plea. We are YAGIP. Please follow us on there. Leave a comment. We love to hear it. YouTube.com. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast. You'll see the Y and G with the black logo, and you'll see a cartoon version of us on our page. Yes, please subscribe on there. Comment, watch our videos. We're also on GooglePlay, Stitcher, and Pocket Casts.
You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at YAGIP_pod. Ooh, whoa, bitch, no. At YAGI_podcast. And you can also find us on our website, www.weareyagip.com. And we also have two forms of communication. Our email, which is ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. And then we also have our Google Voice number that I have been repeatedly failing to check. It's 323-486-3811. I'm going to look at it right now.
Yeah.
And then we also have a few little guests with us today. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves? Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you about. What podcast you on?
What up? What up? This is EmekaSwain. I am on CoffeenDutches podcast. I put together doworkmedia. You can find me at _EMEKA Swain SWAIN, all lowercase. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that good shit.
Dang.
Doworkmedia.
You heard? That's your boy right here, Flyhighdru. That's DRU. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Same thing, Flyhighdru, DRU. You know? Seth, what's up, bro?
And this is your boy. I'm Seth McNeil, a.k.a. sweet_PrujusJones on Instagram. It's at PrujusJones on Twitter. And I ain't giving you my snap.
I don't know how to spell Prujus.
Me either.
And
How
that
the
is
fuck you spell that?
PRUJUS.
Okay.
Okay, I would never have guessed that.
Sounds French and shit.
Interesting. Okay, so before we started recording, we were happening to do the thing where we fuck up and we started talking a little bit. So I cut y'all off.
Okay.
Would you guys like to pick up that conversation?
What were we talking about?
See?
Oh,
We were talking about carrying.
No, you carrying kids in your nuts, like that's important, but go ahead.
yeah.
Yes. All right. Y'all make the statement and you say, we have this privilege because, we bore babies,
Yeah.
we carry babies, but we carry them in our nutsack, like.
But
from
you don't
maturity.
you don't get but
You know how miserable it is being pregnant, or like just being a woman in general?
All
Right.
Everything's
think
miserable.
About what we deal with masculinity, so that
What's
makes our
tough?
life that evens out.
the thing is like when a man cheats, it's like, oh, he's trash, he cheated. When a woman cheats, it's like, oh, that hoe. I can't believe,
that
like
the
when
reaction?
women are held to a higher standard
But
than
wait,
men are.
no. The whole thing about carrying the child in your nuts, bro, that causes, physical harm. And as far as like the things that you go through as a male, that's all emotional. Women go through physical, emotional, taxing things because they're pregnant.
We have to raise children on our own most of the time, way more than men
a nigga
do.
could just pick up and leave.
But it's driven by our sexual energy. And
the fuck does that mean? Please explain.
All right, a man got to bust a nut. If we don't bust a nut 2-3 weeks, we got to feel like
But what
something.
about all the Christian men who really, because I thought that was a thing too until I met them.
It's coming out now that they've been
Y'all
busting
real
nuts
quiet
because
because you don't agree.
No.
Y'all real quiet. Do
They
you
can
agree?
disagree. It's
The
okay.
thing about
They
it is we don't
disagree.
cut off.
They bust
nobody.
nuts by
Okay.
wet dreams, or what do you
we
mean?
don't.
Like,
What do you mean?
Like you're saying, like, oh, all these Christian men who really don't have sex or jack off or anything.
Man,
That's cap. The boy jack
right,
off,
exactly.
I know there are people who aren't. I thought that too, but there are people
like
who aren't.
celibates?
They're celibate.
I guarantee you those same. If you go into their phone and press P, the first thing that's going to pop up on their
what,
browser is Pornhub.
It's
I
X. No,
guarantee-
you press X.
Oh yeah, or X.
X,
Yeah.
videos.
Or X video.
No,
Either
that's
one.
what I'm saying. Like sexual energy, a man is gonna, if he's not busting a nut, that he's gonna use that sexual energy some way, and we can tell like when another man's not having sex because he's lifting like big ass heavy shit, or he's doing amazing things like he didn't bust a nut in a
He
minute.
does amazing things when he doesn't come.
Yeah.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather
Yeah, a
does
boxer
it.
doesn't
Yeah.
have
A
sex
boxer
before
doesn't have
his
sex.
fight.
It makes
That's
it
because
easy.
it's so
Trainer.
physically taxing, and
That's
like their
not
whole
sexual
job is
energy.
physical.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as like Floyd Mayweather and you guys saying like he doesn't have sexual intercourse the night before a fight, that's just to save
it's
energy.
during training.
Okay, but that's a preservation of energy, I feel like, because from like what I have read about boxing, that's the way that I perceived it. I didn't see that he performed better because he wasn't fucking. Like, to me, like, it just
because men they become too relaxed. That's why basketball players also don't do it too. It's because you need to be like
alert.
Testosterone is the reason why men are able to lift heavier than women naturally, even though women can reach that point too.
Yeah.
Men,
Right,
testosterone makes you not feel pain or like it's more of an adrenaline thing. I mean, it's in the adrenaline family, and so like. Oh, sorry, continue. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't know. I'm real confused. I'm real confused.
I grew up a swimmer, so I know like for a fact like how I can dominate, drag everybody. Then it'll be a swim meet that I chopped the night before, I had sex the night before a swim meet, and I'll be horrible.
Chopped?
Chopped.
Damn, that is
Okay,
that
vulgar.
is demeaning.
Vulgar as fuck.
Jesus, we are a
That's
chop.
that
We
low
are a
country.
pork.
Aight.
We're a
That's
piece
a
of
low
meat.
country thing.
We're getting chopped. No, it's okay.
But it's a difference. You know what I mean? Like I can push myself the same way before, you know what I'm saying, and I will actually get the results. But I was more relaxed, just like you were saying. You know what I mean? I was way more relaxed, and I didn't have the energy. I just didn't have it to beat these people.
Okay,
man,
but like
see?
to me, like how does this like
Correlate with carrying a
correlate with
child.
what we were talking about?
How do can you
There's
imagine
no
carrying a
connection
child
to
for
me.
9 months,
I can tie that in.
How? Go
All right.
ahead, please.
So-
ripping through your vagina and
test-
causing you to
And maybe
shit
to
yourself
your anus, like you could get ripped all the way the fuck down.
all the way,
It's
front
very
to back,
bad,
torn open.
And then doctors do husband stitches on you because they care more about how like your
Wait, what are
husband's
we
dick
talking about?
feels
Stitches?
when you have a child
When
and
you
your
have-
vagina rips the fuck open.
would you bear a child out of your body
No.
the size of
like
your
if it
That's-
came out, imagine
but
it
I
coming
came
out
to
your
this earth
anus because
first.
that's what
Basically,
it
it's the
feels
same
like.
size, huh?
That's what women do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's miserable. We don't want to do this shit.
And you're miserable the entire time you're pregnant. So that's why I'm saying, like, you
Not
talking about carrying a
necessarily.
child.
Not
No,
necessarily.
a lot
are.
of people are miserable the entire
we have a
fucking
high
time.
pain tolerance. You're getting that.
I'm not saying that
Like, some of
some
us,
like
we're
that.
just like, oh,
I'm
this
not
sucks,
saying
but
that
I'm
some
fine.
I'm just saying that not all women have a miserable pregnancy.
Nah, shit sucks.
Not all.
Who do you
All right,
know,
there's
like,
nothing that we can do
8
that'll equal
pounds?
that pain.
exactly.
I mean, except
That's
being
it.
kicked in the balls. I mean, that
No.
shit hurts. I'm
But
telling
you don't get kicked in the balls for 9 months straight. You get kicked in the balls a few
It
moments in
feels
your
like
life.
It feels like it.
But if you correlated all the pain from getting your balls kicked, it still wouldn't equal 9 months at this
Yeah.
point in your life.
You've never been kicked in your balls.
It's not gonna damage you for months.
Shit.
I just know what very bad
Hey,
period
I've had a
cramps
couple
feel
of
like,
kidney
and
stones.
it
Yeah.
equates to like labor.
They said
so
that
it's
We
was-
have
like,
cramps
I know
every
what
month.
that is
yeah,
like.
Okay.
From
Like,
12
I know
to 13
that.
years old or whenever
Touche.
we had our period, we have been cramps.
Very long time.
I personally don't get cramps, so I kind
I
of got
do.
lucky. But like cramps, I've had cramps sometimes, and they suck. And so
when your homegirl having cramps, you be like, "Damn, sis, can't relate."
that's what I say.
Yeah, she's like, I don't know what that's like. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
bitch, let me explain.
I've been punched in my titty before, and that shit's terrible.
For an elbow in the titty?
That shit hurts so bad.
Oh, my God.
Like I had to sit down on the floor and just rock. You know, it hurts really bad. Like
wild.
punched. That was middle school when we were bad as fuck.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
you were bad.
I was bad. She was not bad.
Y'all know each other that long?
Yeah.
Since
we know each
third
other a very long
grade.
time.
That's what's up.
We started off
Lifelong
all
friends.
heated, but I just get so, like, it's just a trigger for me. When men try and like equate something to like carrying a child, having a child, and like having to deal with the child, because like first of all, y'all can leave at any fucking time,
Anytime.
any fucking time.
Y'all go to work. Raising a child is harder than having a job. Just
That
to be
shit's
clear.
tiring. And
To raise
then-
a well-rounded child, because you could just raise
you
a
could sit
kid.
that shit. That shit. Whoa.
You can just let the
could
nigga grow
sit
up
the
around
kid
you.
in front of a TV and just let it chill,
Well, women
or you
don't
can really
leave
take
their
care of it.
children?
How
they-
often is it?
They do leave to go to work, but it's like the points where you have to breastfeed and things where it's like your
Yeah.
baby actually needs you.
Not
or
many, but they do.
I mean,
Yeah, it
it's,
happens.
I
Yeah,
think I know single
My
dads
nephew's
do
mama
exist, but-
left. Like, it's a thing. Like, women
Yeah.
do leave,
Yeah.
but like she like left for real. Like, she's not in their life really.
Break out.
So like it happens, but it's like the occurrence of that happening is not as high as a
Yeah.
man leaving the relationship when a woman has a child. So it's like the woman has more to bear because you have to think about it. You have to make that choice to keep the child.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you keep the child you didn't really want, you have to still love that kid because you're supposed to love your kid. So imagine having a kid, you don't even fucking like this nigga. And you can't get rid of it.
Because I've seen a situation where the dude was like, you cannot give up our baby for adoption. You need to keep the baby. You
Yeah,
need to
like,
keep the
what are
baby.
you gonna do?
And then when the baby was born, this nigga moved out the state.
Exactly. Y'all can leave at any fucking time.
I mean, I see that all the time.
And she was like, I could have not kept it.
Exactly, and been happy living her life.
Yeah. Now, I mean, you're speaking facts, okay? I'm not taking none of that away from you because truly I see it all the time because I have a child care facility in Charleston, South Carolina. So, I mean, I deal with baby mamas and all the kids and all that shit all day long. And, you know, it's different. I love what I do, but the drama that comes with, you know, the situations and all kind of stuff. Really, ladies go through a lot.
Are some of them kids bad as hell?
A lot of
Hell
them.
yeah.
But I mean,
They're rambunctious because of their feelings.
All kids are bad.
They don't know how to express themselves
Right.
anymore.
yeah, I mean, when they're with me, they're good. But I mean, any other teacher, it's kind of different. I'm the only male, like in this
'Cause you
facility,
can
pretty
relate.
much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I try to make it as fun as possible. You know what I mean? If you look on my Instagram, I'm always snapping them or whatever. But I mean, we have a good time, and I love what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, love making a difference, love waking up.
Yeah.
You know, like
It's going to make a big
That's
difference in
good
their life.
for you. I'm happy for you. I hate
Yeah.
my job, so I'm so happy for you.
why you
That's
hate your job?
amazing.
Yeah, what do you do?
I'm a neurophysiologist, so I monitor surgeries basically. So I
And
just
you
like,
hate your job?
yeah, it's boring. I just put like needles in people and monitor some signals, and it's the same shit every day. Like I don't know, and then like the hours suck, so it's like a lot to it.
Yeah, the
It's
hours.
a lot to why I don't like it. Yeah, I wear scrubs. I wear a mask all day. I always have like adhesive on my nose when I get out of work. Like this is like a lot of
12-hour
shit.
shifts?
I don't have shifts. Like my company is contracted out, so like as long as the surgery goes or however surgeries you're assigned to for that day, that's how long you work. So it's like there's no knowing. Like you have an idea of how long
Yeah,
you work.
you
just
get to
don't
work,
know.
but they don't get you an off time. You just have a
Yeah.
start time. So you also brought up Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have
Yeah,
a
Kanye's
discussion
been in
about
the
this
news.
man. I didn't actually watch the most recent one where he sits down with Donald Trump because I'm actually over it.
Yeah.
And it made me realize, like, social media, here you come again. I don't care. What I'm worried about is how am I going to start my own business? And I'm tired of you motherfuckers distracting me because this has nothing to do with me. And
But you
all I
don't
need to
entertain
figure-
pop culture?
I like
We do to a certain
I like reality
extent.
television, not for the actual people on the show, for the funny storyline.
Yeah.
Just like I like the Shade Room for the comment section. You know, like I don't actually like the Shade Room. The comment section is fucking hilarious.
But they got you.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I'm giving them business, but it's also, I believe, somewhat of a black business. I feel like Shade Room is not white owned or not completely,
Predominantly?
not
Yeah.
predominantly white owned. So I still like out here in Atlanta, there's so many mom and pop businesses, and I'm so ready to give them my money. I'm not trying to, like I told her earlier, I'd rather give it to someone who's paying their rent rather than someone who's buying a yacht. You know, so it's like all mom and pop. Oh, she was like, oh, this coffee looks fire. I was like, yep, somebody
It
owns
definitely
that.
was mom
Someone
and
who needs to
pop.
pay rent owns that. Let's go. Got our coffee and our breakfast from
It
there.
was bomb.
It's dope.
So same reason why I watch like reality television. VH1 in stations like that are starting to be more black owned. You know, so it's like you won't catch me. I don't really watch MTV anymore.
Because of Mona?
Mona, she's black. It is a black business. Yeah, at the end of the day, like
I didn't
Mona
even know
does
that.
own
Wait,
a-
she's
Mona.
at MTV now?
Yeah, no, she.
what?
I mean, I'm sure she owns something on MTV, but like she
'Cause I
owns a
know she
lot
was
of
on
VH1 stuff. Like just being as black as possible
Okay,
at all
never
times.
I know I'm a
And-
little bit older than y'all, but I remember when I was growing up, VH1 had a commercial that say, we would never play rap. You remember this?
Did
It's
they?
Like, never rap. Never that rap stuff.
What?
Yeah.
They were
like,
remember they were a country channel, weren't
Yeah.
they?
Yo, yes, VH1 didn't like come to our side of the neighborhood until
Wow.
Flavor Flav.
Right.
Wow.
People were looking at Flavor Flav like he was cooning to the max.
He was
You know what I
cooning
mean?
low key,
And
but
then
it's who he
after
is
him-
though.
After him, it was the stripper who was dating him, the
New
dark
York.
skinned woman.
New York.
New York.
Yeah.
You
And
know
then
what
they
I mean?
did
So
all
that
those,
was
yeah.
when they, started to come over here.
And they had Megan of Love.
And I
or
really
Megan,
just
what
watched
was that
that
show?
shit.
The white girl. Did you ever see when it parlayed? Oh, Rock of Love.
Rock
Brad
of Love.
Michaels,
They
and
went-
then
they went so far with it, like from
Yeah.
Flavor
Yeah.
of Love. To,
Yeah.
But I hope Flav got his check because they damn just sold
I mean,
his idea.
didn't we run
We
into
saw
him
him in
last time?
Vegas.
Yeah, I've run into him twice in Vegas
he had
now.
a clock.
Yeah. When I ran into
The
him
first time you did,
he had a
the
clock
second
on.
time he didn't. He just had on like
He
a
was
white
running
tee and a chain.
around. Where did we see him at?
We
That's
saw
it.
him at.
He's always running somewhere.
He looked fucked up.
He's old as fuck.
Where was it? It was at.
What was he doing?
It was at that club. I don't remember the name of the club.
He just
It
be
was,
running. Like, he just be running in like, oh, I'm Flavor Flav, I'm here. Okay, don't
And then
leave
he,
me. Okay,
like,
bye.
my friend, it was her bachelorette party, so we went up to him, and, like, his security guard was like, no. I'm like, nigga, he ain't even that important.
He's not
We
that
just thought it
important.
would be a very funny story because it was her bridal bachelorette party.
He just knows
so we
that
thought
if
it would
he,
be funny.
he knows that if he slows down, he'll cheat on his wife. So he has to, like, keep running. He's always just, like, running. He's never standing still.
Damn, is that deep? I did see like I saw like something on Facebook. You know, they give you like clips of reality TV or whatever. And it was like New York was trying to hoop back on them or whatever.
What?
Yeah, shit. Like, and he was like, "Yo, I got a wife and all that."
Oh,
you know,
on the Braxton Family Values.
And
he
I was
did
like,
do
"Yo,
that.
what the hell? They got Flavor Flav, New York, a couple other Negroes."
That was,
on
remember I told
horses
you?
and shit.
Oh, I
Yeah.
recall now.
She was
Okay.
like, as soon as he came in the building, she was like, oh my God. And then like, he like was like, you know, I'm with somebody. The same woman, you know, he was with his girlfriend, his baby moms, before he even did Flavor of Love. So he was in a relationship the whole time he was taping that show.
Tired.
Yep.
And he just was cheating on her. He was like, I'm not
so
going to miss
tired.
this opportunity. I'm getting paid. I get a whole bunch of bitches and they're all young.
I
like,
remember.
Yeah, so New York
thing
was
was
sweating him, and
trash.
he was like kind of dodging her. But when they were alone, like the mic wouldn't be on. He was like, you know, like I do fuck with you, I would, but you know, there's cameras. Like,
Why the fuck would you say that? Like, just be like, no, if you really about to cheat, just be like, look, I'm not gonna fuck with you at all. Like,
Bitch.
if you don't get the fuck away from me.
Wow.
New York is known for cheating. Your woman is clearly gonna take you back.
That whole show was
We have
smart.
another issue with women who complain about being cheated on but stay. It's like, if you don't fucking stop complaining, bitch.
Like, you can
And-
find a nigga that don't cheat.
Or you can just be cheated on in silence, bitch. Like Fabulous's baby mama, he knocked your
Let's
teeth
talk about
out.
it.
The city
Wow.
is now suing because she won't sue him. The city is now suing Fabulous because
it's
he
like,
did.
bitch, you're in danger.
And now they're trying to get married real quick so that she can't testify against him.
That's some sad ass shit. Like, there's two situations I never want to be married under is because one, I'm pregnant, or two,
Right.
because you beat my ass and I ain't got to testify against you. Like, I have never thought about that one till this day, but that's something I will never fucking do.
No, it's never that. It will never be that serious.
Ever.
I only have one life. I'm not going to waste it on you.
That's wild.
How do you guys feel about that?
That's deep, man. That's a lot. That's
I
just
think
really
she's a
lot.
ride or die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not a
it.
good term. I feel like that term needs to have a bad connotation because that shit's some bullshit. Like, bitches here ride or die and take that shit to a whole nother level. It
That's
doesn't
ride
need to
or
be
die.
taken to.
She's dying
Like,
inside.
Yeah, bitch, you might die. He
Yeah.
might beat your ass and you might die.
Or your soul is just crumbling inside. Like,
You're
so
sad
you
as
are
shit.
dying, bitch.
She probably one of them sad bitches, sad every day.
She probably is. No, I think you pinned her on
probably
that
sad
one.
every
I think
day.
you pinned her on that. Hell yeah.
But
That's
what,
a personal choice.
but what do you think?
Wow.
You know her mind. She probably has that baby girl mindset though. Like she wants a rapper, she wants an NBA player or
Yeah.
some kind of
He
athlete.
don't
So-
even rap no more. Name the last
that.
song you heard
No.
this nigga Fabo
No,
on.
people rap. Fabulous still raps because people are still on his dick.
I used to
this
love
day.
him
They
until
get a
he started
future.
beating
Yeah, he get a
bitches.
future.
Yeah,
feature.
he does features all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But people are still on him heavy whenever they hear. But that's why, like, DJ Envy's about to come out with a mixtape with Fabulous. You know,
Fabulous
like,
been wilding on Instagram though, man. Those
What
outfits,
he been
though.
doing? Like,
Just the
I don't
outfits.
follow him.
Y'all follow him?
No.
he
don't
wears
follow
I
him.
Be Women, I'm Rich
I'm the only
clothes.
one.
Damn, man. Listen. Yo.
Damn, going
R.I.P.
in on
my baby
Fab.
Like,
Mama,
how does
sorry.
this stuff make you feel? Like, should we not make him feel bad for
Nah,
beating bitches?
I feel
Like,
100.
definitely.
Yeah, you definitely talk your shit. 100. Talk y'all shit. Though.
Yeah.
You talk your
You know
shit.
what I'm saying? Because if this is how y'all stand for it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm with you 100%. Because that's you. The size difference. You know what I mean? In the video footage looked pretty bad.
It looked bad.
Yeah,
it looked
and
bad.
he threatened to kill her daddy
Yeah. I mean,
in front of her.
like, off top, I'm done with you. Don't ever disrespect my parents.
You gonna kill my
Never.
daddy?
Never.
Like, wait, you gonna knock my teeth out, then kill my daddy? You hate me. That's what I'm assuming. Nigga, you hate me. I need to get away from you.
a lot of
fuck?
domestic violence, we don't really get to see it. You know,
Yeah.
you hear about it, you hear about like
I
court
done seen
papers and
some
shit like that. But then when you see like actual video footage, it's kind of like,
I hear it's really hard to get out of, but I can't get in the mental.
I
mean,
just can't put myself there.
you know,
Like-
if I was the dumb bitch I used to be when I was young. You know, when girls are young, they're stupid. That's why they fuck
Yeah,
around and get pregnant
true,
at 14.
true.
We
Kinda
are
stupid shit you
dumb.
done.
Don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, nothing. I'm trying to think of shit I would talk about.
There's nothing.
I'm like,
Nothing's there.
It's the podcast. The mics are on.
nope.
Exactly.
You can't deny the listener.
Nope. Dumb shit.
Yeah, don't deny the listener.
Did dumb shit. And so I'm glad. First of all, I'm glad I made it to 26. I got no kids.
Baby free.
Yeah.
STD free.
Oh my God.
Like, you really got to be thankful. That shit's rampant.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Niggas have that shit.
Wow. I'm glad
Yeah.
I don't have an STD.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yes.
know.
Thank God.
Get
Hell
tested,
yeah.
people.
Do you guys have kids?
I don't.
I do.
You
How
have
many?
2.
3.
3. Oh, you a daddy.
Yeah, I'm a daddy.
Oh my God.
That's
That's
why I
good,
was
though.
just laughing. I was correcting her when she was saying some statements, but nah, going back to the women feeling a certain. I mean, I don't even compare the two because men
Right.
go through a lot of different things, but women go through a lot of physical things as well.
We
but
go
it's
through a lot of
completely
physical
different. That's what makes a
and-
man and a woman a woman. I mean, point blank. Period. I couldn't imagine myself in a woman's predicament. Period.
I could imagine myself
And I
as a
sat
man
there-
He
quickly.
says.
Man, to be a man.
and I've
Like,
experienced
we
it.
wish we
in
were
America.
men.
In the second pregnancy, she even had complications. So I mean, damn near it could have been the worst.
Right. It could have
So
affected her.
I've been there. So
Yeah.
I completely understand. But at the same
that
time,
hard.
men go through shit too. that you just
I know, but it's
you
like I
wouldn't be
think
able to comprehend.
I feel like
So,
what y'all go through has all
Like
to do with
what?
like masculinity and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and how you're
as
taught
far
to
as
not cry
masculinity
and like.
That's it right there.
yeah,
Yeah.
growing
That's
up
it
with
right
not father, because like all us in my entire neighborhood, none of us had our fathers.
Damn, our whole neighborhood was fatherless.
Our whole neighborhood, and my mother's worked all day.
And have you ever taken a moment to think about what your father went through? What
To make him
everyone's
do that.
father went through
It's funny
to
that
leave.
you say that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
they all have something in common.
But my
I
mom's
act-
left. But
I'll let you
yeah,
go.
sure.
Well,
I think
It
about my mom's, yeah.
happens.
I was just going to say, yeah, because I didn't even talk to my father until I had my first daughter.
Yeah.
So we never even communicated. But then I kind of, as I had my children, I kind of started to see, instead of siding with how my mom felt on certain things, I
Right.
would see the differences
The
in the
male
two of them
perspective.
and a whole male perspective. And I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
It kind of woke me up like, this could be you too,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
watching it play out through your father. But yeah, it's interesting. But that's life. Like,
Yeah, life
It's
teaches
some
you
bullshit.
lessons.
that's just life.
It's just some bullshit.
I always think that like the world is a terrible place, but like as a child of God, you have to take this terrible place and make it as best as possible and take all the positivity out of it. And I feel like sometimes God is challenging us. Like, take this terrible place. You can be a good person in this terrible place,
be
or you
terrible
can be a
with it.
terrible person in this terrible place.
Yeah.
And that's like what divides people, you know. But they throw a million challenges in front of us. Like, golly, if I was young and knew that we were going to be hitting so many obstacles by the age of 26, like,
I'm like, can you grow up slow, bitch? Like, where's Benjamin Button when you need him? Like, I
Right.
need to grow age backwards.
Yeah,
Like,
let me go back
Let me get back to not paying bills.
sitting at home playing video games.
Not being stressed,
Man.
like not having to work long hours, being happy, actually having time to draw. Like, you had time for hobbies. Like,
Right.
now if you make time for a hobby, you slacking on something else you were supposed to do. And then like in the mentality of like everybody's supposed to be grinding all the time, doing this, that, and the other, so that like in our age group, like by the time you get to 30, you can have shit set. And it's like, look, life don't work like that for everybody.
Right.
And then you cannot fucking like grind all the time. Like,
Right.
and I feel like that's something you and I do. And that's why our mood be fucked up.
I'm done.
And that's why we be tired. But like literally we got here on Thursday. I did homework when we got here. We got ready to go out. We went out. I came back, did homework again, and then went to sleep. Like, cause it's like, I gotta get this shit done.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if
And-
only we could rewind time.
Yeah, and I feel like for the amount of school that I've been in, that somehow, maybe I'm spoiled, but I'm like, for the amount of school I've been in, I feel like y'all need to be paying me at least $80,000 a year. Stop offering me less than that shit. I'm
Right.
tired. And we live in California.
Right.
That's
where
what you need.
The home that me and her liked was $448,000.
I believe so.
Yeah, like, you know,
Wow.
it's like you're offering me some bullshit salary and put me in school for a long time, put me in a private school that costs too much, you
Yeah.
know, like, and then you're trying to offer me like what's enough to survive, like, not in this state. at all.
Yeah.
That's why everyone in California either has a roommate or lives with their parents.
Right.
If you have
Like
your own,
same with New York.
yeah, same in New York. You either have a roommate or you live with your parents, and it's normal. It's not even like And then California, opposite from New York, we drive everywhere. So me and her are driving like almost 2 hours to work every day,
Jeez.
back and forth.
The
and
traffic's bad.
filling our
That.
gas tank every 3 days, and we drive gas efficient cars. It's just that we drive so much, like
You spend half your life in traffic and the other half at work.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's definitely it.
Yeah.
And then when I come home, I just like close myself off and like I have to
1%
do
sleep.
work. That's
Jesus.
it.
Yeah. In my master's program, they're like, "Oh, you have a job? Just don't sleep." How is that the solution?
Like my manager asked me how work was going because like they were trying to like do a second call at work and like all my coworkers are like, "Nah, fuck that. Like we have lives." And like I sent a message like I haven't even asked it for a schedule change. And I've been working full time and in school. And so she asked me, she's like, "Oh, how is work?" And I mean, "How is school going?" I'm like, you would ask now after this, but up until this point, you didn't give a
They
fuck.
don't care.
So you're being fake, first of all. And second of all, like, I don't have time for this.
They care about quarterly goals.
Exactly.
That's right. Fiscal goals.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's it.
As long as the money's adding up, they're good. But if the money's not adding up, they're like, okay, well, what can
Yeah,
we do
let's
to make this
reevaluate.
not be like
They're
this?
required to check to see how you're doing. You know what I mean? Like that's just that angle.
Yeah.
Let me check her off right quick to see how she's really doing.
They
She's
don't
gonna
actually
stick
care.
In, yeah,
Yeah.
she really doesn't
I
care.
don't like that fake shit. Just don't
Yeah.
talk to me.
Right.
Like, I hate this job, but I'm still going to do it. But just don't talk to me.
In corporate America, you have to be so fake.
Oh God.
Killer.
You have to be.
Yeah, you have to be.
Yeah.
I mean, at least
You
in
have to be.
California, maybe
have
like
to be.
because I've noticed like when I was in Detroit, like the black people out there, they don't code switch. Like how they talk is how they talk at work.
Yeah.
Like they don't put on that like let me put on my corporate America voice. Like
We
they're
put on
just
our
like,
white voice.
I definitely do.
We have a white voice.
Yeah.
Just like that. But did you ever see that
Yeah,
movie?
I hear it.
You hear it?
We're also from the burbs too, though.
Yeah.
So
We were born in Rancho Cucamonga
I'm a little
Rancho
country
Cucamonga.
sometimes, according to her.
from Friday.
Yeah.
That's
Only
why I
white people
started
know
laughing.
Yeah. We were
just
born
don't
out
know.
there.
Really?
Yeah, but no, my white voice is even whiter when it goes, "Hello, thank you for calling."
I'm
yes.
doing well.
Oh yeah, how are you doing? Great. Yeah,
That's not a
so
white voice.
I wanted to talk about the portfolio.
Okay, but
and-
see, look, this is what y'all don't understand. Like, well, maybe you do understand, but like, when you like when you at work or whatever, and you on the phone and you call somebody, and you're still being professional, they're being professional too, but you can always tell when they're black.
Yep.
That's why you know, and that's why you don't think it's a black voice, like, because it's like our white black voice.
Everyone
like,
thinks I'm white. They don't
me
think
too.
I'm black.
Especially because my name is fucking Ashley. Like, why would I be anything else? Like,
That's true.
Ashley. So what's fun things to do in South Carolina?
Beach,
Beach,
Yeah, plenty of beach life.
bar
on the water.
hopping,
That sounds fun.
rooftops.
okay, LA.
yeah.
I feel it. Go
I'm
ahead.
sure it feels very homey.
outside, just being outside.
Yeah.
Okay, we
It's
don't
really
do that.
outdoorsy.
Outdoorsy. See, we don't do that really.
Y'all
Like,
got
if we go
bugs, though,
outside,
right?
You got plenty
Yeah,
of bugs.
we got
Oof.
bugs. I mean, but
We got mosquitoes
Yeah.
the size of
everybody
birds.
got
Fires,
bugs.
Whoa!
don't play like that. Don't play like that. That's not
Earthquakes,
cool.
fires.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah,
earthquakes
all that
and
shit over
fires.
there, man.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah.
Smog.
It's Hurricane
I guess
Alley.
I'm good.
I
Oh.
complete. Yeah, it's Hurricane
Nah,
Alley.
but, I mean, Charleston's lit. Everybody, truly enjoys coming to Charleston. I feel like, because
Yeah.
every time I'm any kind of bar, any kind of situation, grocery store, and there's somebody from out of town, they just
Yeah.
express how they want to move to Charleston. They love Charleston. They continue to get beautiful places to visit in the world. Number one, like 8 years in a row or some shit.
Wow.
It's all cap though. I
I
mean,
didn't even know.
yeah. See, and that's the thing. Y'all don't even know, but
I know people from there, but I've never had the reason to go yet,
Yeah.
But I mean, we've been traveling, so, it's going to happen eventually. Cause
Yeah.
there's
It's one
still
of the
places.
prettiest spots on the East Coast.
no, definitely.
You have Miami. I mean, Florida's very pretty.
It is.
But
you guys have a lot
outside
more
of Florida,
green.
yeah.
outside of Florida, it's South Carolina.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you would, you'll enjoy it.
I stayed in Richmond, Virginia a couple years ago for like 3
Virginia's
months.
Ain't it?
nothing on South
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Carolina.
was dead up there.
Yeah.
It was. It was
Nah.
pretty, but it was dead.
Yeah, I'm originally from Durham, North Carolina, so I know what Virginia looks like because you just ride straight on up.
Yeah.
But I couldn't stand Virginia because, like, going to D.C., it's just like, God damn, you still in Virginia? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You just ride.
It's
and
like
ride.
Texas, like
For
when
real.
people drive through Texas.
Oh my God. Or even fucking California. It takes 6 hours to get to
get
San
in,
Francisco.
Yeah.
Shit's far.
I like DC though. You know,
Yeah,
DC
Yeah.
is a
DC's
mixture of
it.
everyone. So
I do want to
that's
visit
poppin'.
DC soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your tour in New York and New Jersey
And London.
and London.
definitely
And
did.
we went New
We did
York,
some
New
wild
Jersey,
shit.
London. Where else have we been? Is that
Here,
it?
yeah, then here.
Then here.
Yeah, I wanted to ask what brought y'all to Atlanta.
Oh my God, it's Atlanta. But
And
you
then
know,
we found something to do in Atlanta to make it make sense a little bit. We are going to Afropunk.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to
Yeah.
Afropunk. But also,
That's
we've heard
what's
so
up.
many things about Atlanta, and we've always contemplated moving here, which I still am contemplating moving here. And we see why. It's like it's just like California. Like
Yep.
I know the weather is different, and we got lucky with the weather. Like
Yeah, no,
we were saying,
definitely.
like we brought the weather and we
Yeah.
brought the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the weather is like this right now in California, but the traffic is really heavy in LA.
Right.
So this is similar to like
Yeah.
how it is at home, you know. So we're just like, okay, but I know it gets humid and the bugs come out and the mosquitoes but we're getting bit up in California right now. It
Yeah.
bites all up my leg, you know.
Jesus.
But we need to go to black areas. We went to white areas. We found out the areas we went to.
We
last
went to
night
the
were-
gentrified sections
we need to
of
go to-
Atlanta.
We're gonna go to Onyx tonight, and then
Yes.
like someone gave me a list of other black area things because we're staying in a white area to our hotel. We
Yeah.
found out, and
So did we.
Yeah.
Y'all did too?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
so we didn't know that there's a
Yeah.
different area. So we're gonna go around and see things and see the life out here. How do you feel about? Okay, this popped in my head. How do you feel about the discussion of mental health with black men in the community right now? You know, men expressing that maybe their
Crying
child,
A
sometimes.
lot
Crying,
of us
crying.
retarded. A lot of us
Oh,
are
okay,
retarded.
cool. I support it.
retarded? What? You were taught it?
No,
Retarded. I know what you mean.
That-
Go ahead.
Wait,
They not for you.
You said retarded?
yeah.
Okay. Oh, you said the right word. Okay, I just was like, did I hear you right? You didn't call yourself retarded, did you?
No, I mean a lot of us, yeah.
Retarded. That's
Black
a strong word.
I mean, it just means
Oh.
held back.
Come
Yeah,
on, man.
I guess.
I'm
That's-
playfully using it.
Yeah.
No, but if you look at the actual tech, because it was made into a slur, but the actual technical term is held back, which means like or correlated to like ignorant, as in you just weren't exposed to it. It's not that you have the difficulty; it's that you weren't even provided the opportunity to
Yeah.
learn about it. You know?
Technical,
Yeah.
true.
You know? So that makes sense.
So you asked, how do we feel about it?
The new discussion where it tells men to cry and like, you know,
It's
reach.
okay to cry.
You know, like what about like childhood influences? Okay, so I always say men take things harder than women, but I always think it's because you're taught to hold it in. And so women, we just cry and we call our girlfriends and oh my God. And so we get over it, but men have to hold it in. What if it actually really hurts?
Well, I had brothers and sisters, so it wasn't much holding in. Like,
Yeah, you can be open.
yeah,
That's
for
good.
real.
We're all pretty much open. I mean,
That's good.
Yeah.
Whatever's on our chest, we let it out.
Keeping that shit in, that's sour, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Hell
turn
yeah.
you
That's-
ugly,
True.
turn you nasty.
That's definitely suicide.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
Like,
can't internalize it.
It
all.
really is.
I
Well,
mean-
that's good. Maybe it was the generation prior because we have progressed.
Right? We making moves.
Men talking about their feelings and shit.
yeah,
You
Well,
remember
we
the
saw-
last time
we
you
saw,
cried?
you know, the generation ahead of us fuck up.
yeah.
Well, that's true.
True,
They
valid.
did a lot of
Very
bullshit.
valid.
Yeah, a lot.
They tried to keep a lot of secrets too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They fed a lot of bullshit also.
That's true.
Santa Claus, fucking Tooth Fairy, all that shit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of bullshit that they fed us with a silver spoon, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? But it was just like, some parents kept it gutter though, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just it was like, yo, I work hard for this shit. This is what it is. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, it ain't no Santa Claus. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
we thought our parents were rich growing up. Come to find out, these niggas was working all them hours for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, just because like they would give us stuff for like, oh, you have money, and then they would say no to stuff, and we'd be like, why? Well, no for what? And it's like they're at work 12 hours a day. Both my parents, like they're gone all day because they have to work for the money that they had. But as children, we don't realize that they're going through it. And I was telling her like, no wonder they would come home from work and be pissed off because work sucks. Like if you most people don't like their job, so it's like work sucks. You need this bill paid and it's not paid. You got
And your
4
kids
fucking
is
children.
annoying.
Somebody broke something while you were gone. You know, it's like it makes sense and something's dirty. And that
I
irks
used
the
to
fuck
break
out of me.
shit. That was me.
Yeah.
Breaking
That
a
was me,
window
too.
or throwing a ball in the house or something like that.
Yeah.
That was
And
us.
now we understand why our parents would come home mad, because we think they're just like, oh, they'd be happy to see us because we're their kids. It's like, no, what I think about is the times that my parents got laid off. Like, they work now, but when they got laid off, it's like they probably were going to a job interview, didn't get the job, and then came home to our annoying ass.
Yeah.
Right.
And they didn't tell us. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're children. We don't get it. But it's like, you might have just got fired.
Right.
You can't tell your 5-year-old you just got fired.
Right.
But you're pissed, you know. You now you're like, fuck, I can't pay rent, and
Yeah.
we're not thinking about any of those things. We're just living our lives and being
Yeah.
like, well, he gave me that McDonald's,
All
so
they
he can
want is
pay
a
for
peanut butter
this.
jelly sandwich.
Right.
Yeah. They're not thinking about if you got fired or not.
Right, exactly.
Right. Yeah.
So our parents went through some shit.
But it's up to us to repay our parents once we
Right.
get up. Like my mom. My mom was a single parent. She raised us. I got 3 sisters, 3 brothers, so it was 7 of us, and she did a great job, phenomenal job. And so, right now, like, she don't really have to want for much because her children takes care of her.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I
good.
mean. So
Yeah, we
you
hope
gotta
to do
repay
the
it,
same.
you know, because she did so much for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and both
Gotta
of our
repay it.
both of our parents have 4 kids.
Yeah.
And me and Ashley's situation is kind of like we're the ones, you know, who should be the ones to pay for our parents, you know.
Step up. If you feel it, you gotta step up.
We have to. It's just stressful.
Yeah, it's stressful as shit.
You
Like,
have to,
especially like when your siblings can't really help as much as you can. Like that's where the problem comes in.
Yeah.
So it's just like some of my siblings are asking for help, and it's like I can help my parents, but it's like me helping them is basically helping my siblings. So it's just like, I don't know, the
Right.
roles have like reversed on some things, because I used to be my brother, and so it's like now it's not him anymore. So it's just
Yeah.
like,
We have
what
to
do I
take that
do?
responsibility.
Give yourself more time. Like in our parents, they raised us at least 18 years. Some of us more. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
for sure.
And so it didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
And we think about that and we try to digest that. Then you say, "Oh man, I want to give you everything. Like let me do for you." But you gotta also like give it time and
Put yourself in that place.
exactly. Just be there.
Yeah.
Just be there for them.
Yeah, that's
Word.
true. We do what we can.
Yeah.
And
When
in the
you
future,
can.
we can just pay all their shit.
Yeah.
You know,
You know,
one day.
Yeah.
Like,
Buy
give a
them.
check.
You know,
Pay
whatever
them,
they
pay
need.
the mortgage one time.
Furniture,
This bitch already does that.
appliances.
I'm like, bitch. Ooh, ooh.
Oh, you definitely, you know, I mean, just really, your parents would appreciate it more when, you know, you do the little thing. Maybe if you just come over, take over the trash, take out trash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know my mom, she loves that shit because there's always fucking trash. I mean, I don't know where. I don't. It's just only 2 of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That just happened.
She
And it's
doing it on purpose.
a bunch of trash. I mean, newspaper.
No, they
Who
do
the-
find work for you.
Yeah, like for real.
Okay.
Find work for
Well,
you.
yeah. Since you here, let me go ahead and do this and this and this. Like, yo, no. Like, I just came to grab some shoes or something. Like, you know, just something real quick,
The
man.
little things for real.
But
Yeah.
I will always feel bad if I be like, man, chill. Like, well,
Yeah,
I'm
you
in a
don't
rush or
want
something, and I'll be like, you know what? Let me go ahead and knock that shit out right now.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you only get, you know, one parent,
Right.
you know,
Right.
one set of
Right.
parents and shit. So
Right.
you gotta appreciate it, you know, especially if they're even in your lives, because some people get put on people's porches and shit and don't even know their parents and just angry at the world and everything.
Shit,
But
Parents
that's-
just don't give a
it's
fuck.
real. It's real.
Or are they on drugs?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, yeah.
Just in jail.
True. Yeah.
Because I know that
that's
shit.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's sad though, man. But you see the shit all the time. I mean, it happens to a lot of people. But it's a conversation that has to happen. Going back to mental health, you know what I mean? It's a conversation that just really needs to happen. But what exactly is mental health? That's the biggest question because people slap mental health on everything. So what exactly is
Yeah.
mental health? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is
And I feel like it's only convenient too, like when it's a crime.
yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
there's a crime committed, or like when like somebody has like some severe mishap, it's like, oh well, it's mental health.
Yeah.
But if it's like,
Yebo.
if it's what?
Oh, evil white person. That's a Nigerian term. That's cool that you know that.
I
It
did. No, that's so mad awkward though,
evil.
because like you know we different. But anyway,
Yeah, but
it's
I
just
mean-
like they slap it on shit. But like when it's like little shit, like somebody ditching school all the time, or like somebody like not getting sleep or some shit, then it's it's not that
Yeah.
big of a problem.
Right.
But it's just like if it's bigger shit, then let's just put a
Mental
band-aid on
health.
it with mental health.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out how to classify because there's so many different types of mental health issues, you know? I think it's just like being mentally stable and
Stability.
insane.
Having money.
And money helps, but damn, not enough, unfortunately.
I know it don't help that much.
It's like my level of mental health is accepting the world for what it is and just being like, yeah, it's a shitty place. And once you just understand that this is a shitty place, it makes you appreciate the nice things because you're getting nice things in a shitty place.
Yeah.
You know?
What about and Kanye sense? Because we really didn't even touch base on Kanye.
Oh,
This
man.
always happens. An
We really
episode of
didn't.
Deep Dive.
We slow.
Yeah.
I know, right?
But
Tangent.
it's okay. I bring everybody back. But you know, just I would say like it's clear that Kanye is on a rant. You know what I mean? After he met with Donald Trump, he went to Apple Store in DC, hopped up on top of the table and started another fucking rant. Like literally right after he just
Oh
finished.
my
that.
God, who is this guy?
So my thing is this Kanye? You know what I mean? Like, is this the Kanye that we've neglected to want to see or never really saw, or we
Right.
glorified the Kanye putting out good music and
He would
Jesus
speak up
walks
too,
in.
you know. He would say
He
like,
always
"Oh,
would speak up.
George Bush doesn't like black people." We liked him when he favored us.
He's always been doing antics.
He's
hopped up-
always, yeah.
He hopped up on there talking about Beyonce should have won this. That was an
Right.
antic.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But then we was like, stop it, Kanye, stop. But this is him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We kind of like brushed it away, but there's nobody holding him back now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's full force Kanye. But
He-
how y'all feel about it? Like truly though.
Don't you feel like he's embarrassing us? Like white people are like, "Well, this is your guy.
No,
Y'all love him."
No, he doesn't represent.
But okay, like that's us though. Like from somebody
Right.
outside looking in, we all the fucking same. So it's like they're definitely looking at Kanye and be like, well, a lot of the other ones must feel this way too.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna have to
like-
stop them with their ignorance.
Exactly, like, but it's just like our voice is not as big as his, and I think that's the main issue that Black people have with him. Is just like Kanye is this big voice that is being a representation for all of us, and it's like our small voices are not being heard, saying like, look, we don't rock with this dude. But it's like it could be an easy popular consensus among people that aren't in the African American community, because they're only seeing this dude on the news. Like they not following him, they're not checking Twitter, they're not seeing the social medias, none of that shit. Checking for how we respond to him. They're just seeing what they report on the news about him.
I think Black people don't really have a say in this because Kanye speaks to such of a mainstream industry. It's white people who he's speaking to.
Right.
It's
Most
it's industry giants. It's politicians now, and it's people who spend money. And to me, I don't think that Black people has been Kanye's popular, large fan base for a minute now. Yeah,
Like-
and so what we think don't even get counted or
No, at all.
yeah.
They don't care. They don't consider. And when it goes to concerts and stuff, the most people at the concerts are white too. So if you think about his fan base, people buying albums, like even though Black people listen to these albums, like it's mostly white people. They've already done the stats. Travis Scott, you know, like people like that, their audience is white. There's just Black people do love them. And so when Kanye West does all this bullshit, most of his audience is still around, and people in Asia, you know, because they're all over their Yeezy shit, you know. So it's like, I don't even think we're a huge percentage of his
his
followers.
fan base.
And, and now he's with fucking Kim, and her fan base is just totally different. It's a whole bunch of creepy. It has to be a ton of creepy old men, but also like young women and stuff like that. So his fan base isn't even like, you know, her picture. There's got to be some creepy men on that. But yeah, so I feel like he's able to do his point of view and go unnoticed, you know,
without being checked.
Yeah.
Because this has always been Kanye, and so his actions right now, like, if he didn't have like a serious change in his ways, it's sort of like inevitable. Because when he had previous people around him in the past, they were able to check him before he say some dumb shit. Like his real guys from Chicago before Rockefeller, you know, they were like, hold on, bro, you're not gonna embarrass us all. Rhymefest in them, Consequence in them. You know? So
he lost a lot of friends.
So they're not there. So he's just spiraling. You know?
He did cry on that one radio show too, like, oh, if I had this dude with me, I probably wouldn't have done this stuff. Like, it's my main dude, so we aren't even close no more.
That's cap.
But I think that what he says, some things have truth in it. He just don't know how to say it.
Exactly.
And he's wigging off the pills, so he's like, you know, just like a space head, and like you'll hear just a bunch of ramble. Then he might say something that makes sense, like once every 5 minutes or something like that.
Even his accent, the way he talks is different.
You can tell when somebody is wigging up because you know they speak at a high pitch and they really want to get their point across.
Yeah.
You know,
Hand
it's in their
gestures.
actions.
Yeah.
You know?
That nigga's different.
He's mentally ill.
And I watch
Mentally.
That's where this applies well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
This
But
is
very well.
mental health, right?
Yeah, he is not mentally healthy.
Textbook
Yeah.
definitions changing after 2018.
And
And he said he got surgery. He got
oh yeah, lipo.
Yeah, lipo,
But look who he's
like-
married to. You know,
Lipo queen. Right
It's like
here.
this lipo
Plastic surgery
family.
queen.
Lipo, the daddy got lipo. You know, like
The daddy turned into a whole bitch. Like,
yeah,
no
like
offense, but
that
like
whole family.
he turned into a whole woman.
Yeah, you're gonna get
Like,
plastic surgery. You join that
If
family.
that's the example.
That's facts.
Yeah, like everybody got Kylie. She got a tummy tuck the same day she delivered her baby, just so she could look the way she looks online. You know, like she had that shit scheduled when she found out she was pregnant. You know, like that whole family is just fake as fuck. But I actually watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
Right.
and so I've been watching them for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And like Kim, she's just showing signs of that she's going to leave him soon. Like, because every relationship she's been on, she always starts to complain about her relationship like right before she tries to end it. And she tries to make herself seem like the victim before she tries to end it. Her mama's Kris Jenner, so her mama knows how to like play the system.
So you
and,
think
you
the
know,
relationship is fake or like
I think-
strategic?
I
it's
think
strategic. Oh yeah, it's very strategic. Kanye West. As much as he's annoying us, we still think he's the GOAT. You know, like he's not the GOAT, but one of the
Yeah,
GOATs.
yeah.
You know,
One
like
of the-
we still
yeah.
consider, we know the songs he made, you know, like, and so it's like, even though he's a weirdo, she was like, he's fucking Kanye. Why you think Kylie all of a sudden got pregnant real
By
fast by Travis?
Scott.
You know, she only knew Travis Scott for 2 weeks before she got
Like
pregnant.
to me, it just seems all calculated because all the sisters waited until they got some nigga of status to
Tristan
like get pregnant.
won
Like,
the fucking
how you avoided all this
championship,
fucking time,
you know?
and then you get with a nigga that's on, and then all of a sudden
concur.
in a month you're pregnant.
Tristan won the championship. He cheated on her the day before she had the baby, and
Right.
she stayed because he's still on the Cavs.
Yeah.
You know, the Cavs just
Yeah.
won. You know,
He had
so
two of them with him.
yeah, exactly. It's like,
Big
oh
up.
right, he did. he cheated on his pregnant baby mama to get with Chloe, and then he cheated on Chloe when she was pregnant.
Yeah.
But I think, all right, let's look at it from his perspective. He knows the shit is fake as fuck. He probably came in the game and they schooled him. And he was like, man, look, man,
I'm down. I saw my name.
yo,
I'm trying to have a baby by a
I'm about to
Kardashian.
pay for sex from these girls. Like they don't want nothing from me.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like boom, boom, boom. These, you know.
Yeah.
Bitch, you made me mad yesterday. You know, I'm
Yeah.
about to do this.
Yeah,
Your pregnant ass acting crazy.
yeah. Pregnant ass
I'm
acting
going out with the
crazy.
boys.
Don't we talk
I
about
think
This
it's
nigga
fake,
was
though.
making out in the club. Like he didn't give a fuck.
He didn't give a
Like,
fuck about
there
that.
is
He
no
really
fucks
didn't.
given.
He
These
had both
niggas-
of them on it.
Yeah, like if
These
you
niggas don't
care,
care.
There's
if you
another one out there,
care,
right? That, like that Andre.
Yeah, Andre Drummond. So he's caught up in some stuff right now. Allegedly, his ex-girlfriend screaming that she's pregnant by him, and his current girlfriend, who looks just like the ex-girlfriend, is also pregnant by him. But yeah, she's screaming that.
They be looking the same.
Yeah, I mean,
they
both of
take
them
copies of
They
the
look
same
exact-
bitch.
Are they light skinned?
Yeah, like
They
some
look like
Mexican type.
Okay,
they look like
now we
little
know.
baby Kardashians.
Of
You know what I mean?
course.
Oh, plastic surgery. Okay,
Yeah.
that's what that
The
means.
Instagram models, strippers, you know
Kinda
what I
look
mean?
whack, too.
I'm sure
Kylie
they,
does look white.
I'm sure they have like a OnlyFans or Connect Pal or one of those shit. You know what I mean?
I actually like
Monthly
Kylie's body. I
subscriptions.
just hate her face.
Right.
She fucked up her lips.
I don't. I don't
And
get
her
into
booty
none of
low-key
them.
I don't
fuck.
get into none
Is
of them,
it?
but I definitely agree because I
I-
always thought that they were up to no good. They just seem to be up to no good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
we-
they was always after
Especially because they
brothers.
mama, like you really are your parents. Like no matter how much you
Yeah.
don't want to feel that
her
way.
mama
you
cheated
are.
on their
Started,
daddy.
look who she started with. And
Exactly.
That's what I said. I was like, look who she started.
She was
with.
about it. She was like, I know
She
what
was
I'm
about
doing.
it. She
Bruh.
was ready to make that video.
I saw a picture of Chloe with OJ's daughter. OJ Simpson's daughters.
she looked like
Yo,
them?
They look like triplets. Yo,
Damn.
I swear. Chloe looked just like
Oh, for
OJ
real.
Simpson's daughters. bro.
Moms
real.
was fucking.
Yeah, she was, and then she's with her brother right now, currently, right?
Yeah, that nigga.
Yeah.
I think he's probably using her too.
Man, listen,
Who
can
wouldn't?
y'all imagine the sit down that she had with her daughters? Like, listen, she probably had like a chalkboard, like, this is a black man.
Yeah.
This
It's a
is what you
trophy.
want
It's a
right here.
trophy
It's a
to her.
trophy.
This is what's
Same
popular
bitch.
right now.
It's a trophy to her.
It's
but-
wild, though.
bitch.
It's wild.
They not the same bitch, but they're the same bitch.
Nah, OJ
Right,
was
they all look
wild.
a little different.
Ugh.
She probably did it.
Who?
These niggas is nasty.
OJ Drummond, he wildin'.
These niggas be dipping their dick just day and night.
Anything.
If I had a penis, I'd probably be a
I'd
hoe for
probably
a
be
little
doing
bit
it
too.
Shit.
Okay.
You
Tell
ever
us
want
how
a
you really
penis?
feel.
You ever want?
Hell
wish you had
yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's talk
What?
about
More
it. Let's talk
times
about
than
it.
not. What the fuck? Y'all got privileges we don't.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about it.
trying to. Whoa.
Trying to
Want to
Speak
jack
your
off.
shit.
speak
Next
your
subject.
Shit.
What else would I do with
don't
my
lie.
penis?
Speak your shit.
Get my dick sucked.
Exactly.
I would love
I want
that.
to know what that feels like, but I never will.
I hear pussy's fire.
yeah.
Pussy is
So,
fire.
I would love to feel that.
Oh man.
I would like to be able to go places and not feel like I'm in danger, like the type of danger where like you about to get raped danger,
Yeah,
because that's
'cause
a
we
different type of fear.
We know people who've been raped. Yeah.
Like that's a whole different type of fear. Like I want to know what it feels like to be outside and be like I
Be
could
safe
really,
and secure.
I
Yeah.
could really defend myself.
I'll just swing on
and
your
not
ass.
just think that I can defend myself.
Yeah.
Can I ask you? Do you have a man? Do you
Yeah,
vibe
I
with a
do.
man? Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. Do you feel safe and secure with him?
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
when I'm by my fucking self. Like when I go out by my fucking self, it's like I go to the gym by my house, and this guy has come up to me repeatedly, like saying he's gonna be my boyfriend
Damn,
one
that's
day.
whack.
Like, and it's been like 4 times.
I hope you got some mace.
I do.
All right.
Yeah.
That's why they making catcalling illegal. And, like that's like harassment,
Man, I hope
right?
so.
As
Fuck.
they should, but it's like he's not even catcalling me. Like he's coming up to me and he's speaking to me. Like
Yeah.
I turn around and he's like right there. Like
I've
it's
had-
some weird shit.
Or people be like,
Shit.
hey,
yeah.
hey, and they're like walking behind you and you're not responding, but they're continuing to think that you might be interested. They're like,
Yeah.
That's
hey,
whack, too.
hey, walking
So
up to
he's
your
on some
car.
real creepy shit.
Man, people are fucking
Yeah,
Very
that's
creepy.
People are
Yo,
creepy.
I feel for y'all ladies. That's just crazy, dog.
I want to
Yeah.
know what it feels like to leave a bitch while she's pregnant. Like,
Oh my
I'm just
god!
kidding.
Whoa!
Any man doing
I'm
that.
just kidding. No, but it's just like I want to know what it's like to have the freedom of knowing, like, if I have a child, I don't have to be.
No,
Like, it's some foul shit, but it's like I don't have.
that's
to
the only
be
thing
there.
I don't look forward to is the stress of being like,
Is he gonna say?
damn, I got her pregnant and I don't have no decision whether or not she keeps it or not.
Right?
Fuck.
Like,
I hope
you-
she has
you
an
know?
abortion. Fuck.
There's just like a lot of different stuff.
I know what guys go through. They're like, fuck, man, I want to kill right now. Shit. I hope she has an abortion. Fuck. What you? Oh, I was about to say some fucked up shit. I'm gonna say it, but I don't mean this. I was gonna
Right?
say
I
what you
don't
need.
mean it all the
I don't
way.
mean it, but it's like if I was a dude, I'd be like, damn, I need to slip an abortion pill in her food. Fuck. Like I don't want to have this kid because I could understand not wanting to have a kid. I get it,
Wear a condom.
but
It don't feel the same. I already know it don't feel
I'm
the
pro
same. If it don't
condoms.
feel the same to me, your dick and a condom don't feel the same
I'm
to you.
pro condoms,
Right.
but I know a lot of guys who are like, I fucking hate condoms.
Right?
Like,
That is me, sadly. Like, I'm like, I hate those shits. Like,
oh, well.
I hate condoms also.
okay.
I'm
So it's like, but you still gonna do it.
No, I don't
Like,
use condoms.
Nobody likes Nobody likes condoms.
Okay.
Nobody likes condoms.
I've proven
So
that
no
not
one's
to
like, hey, better put this on. Like no one likes that.
about to protect myself.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
everybody's
like-
made mistakes.
Then you think about like all the freedom that you have, swiping your card for yourself.
True.
All that shit. They just
True.
like, yeah.
What do you mean swiping your car for yourself?
You ain't buying diapers, bitch. You ain't buying Enfamil. You ain't buying baby clothes.
None of that.
Right.
You ain't buying none of that shit.
That
None
shit's
of that
You're not buying
expensive.
baby wipes every week. Like,
None of that really
nah.
hurts. It
That
doesn't
shit's
hurt.
expensive.
No, that's daycare is expensive.
Okay, I
Okay,
did
you
hear
right.
that's
They
expensive.
kill
You
us
right.
with daycare.
Yeah,
Trust me.
Holla,
right.
holla.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Okay,
You the
profit.
plug.
Profit. Right. Holla, holla, holla.
Move
The
to South
profit.
Carolina for discounted
Daycare will bring
childcare.
you- yeah.
Okay.
Pull up. I got you.
Been-
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you're thinking about who you're leaving your children with. So,
Right.
sometimes you got to pay the cost.
They might be
Yeah.
smoking weed and then walking into
Just
work.
for you
Right?
to be feeling
Or
I mean, I
letting your
smoke weed,
kids
but-
smoke
at
weed
work.
with them, like on them videos.
Did you see the videos of women who were letting the little kids smoke weed?
Yeah, we talked about it on one
We
of
had
our
a podcast
episodes.
on it.
Oh my god.
It was really hard to watch. I
That was
can't
fun.
even-
That shit's
Yeah,
sad
he
to
capped
me.
it. That shit
Nah,
was
it was funny.
It was funny,
as
but not
fuck.
funny.
Yeah.
Because the little baby, she had the cannon of smoke come out her nostrils or whatnot. But I mean, truly, just to see what they were doing with these kids is fucked up.
It's
I'm
so
just gonna
fucked
say
up.
it was funny as shit, but it was just
Yeah,
Damn,
it's like you gotta
shouldn't
laugh
do
to
that
take away
shit.
the pain.
Yeah.
And like I like be getting sad too when people smoke out their animals because I'm like they don't like that. Like why
Yeah.
are you getting your dog high? Like please do not get your dog high.
My
around
dog
me.
hates the smell
Like I
of
really
it.
don't like that
That's fucked
shit.
If my dog's around me and he knows, like, oh, like he'll, dogs sniff everything. He'll sniff and then just back will be like, bitch, get the fuck away from me. Like, he hates it.
I do know a dog that likes to be around when people smoke.
Oh, no.
No, there's dogs that eat weed
There are
too.
dogs. That
There's certain ones, just like there's certain people that like weed, but it's just like, don't like purposely get your dog high, especially if you know your dog doesn't like it.
that's
Like
true.
that's the shit that
Force it
pisses
in
me
on
off.
them.
Yeah.
They're blowing it in
Would
their
never do
face.
that.
Like that's
Hotboxing
like
with the
because that's
dog in
what
the
you're
car.
doing to a kid. Like you're not giving this kid the choice of whether or not they like it, even though they shouldn't because they're a kid.
You kids
But
was pulling
like,
that blunt.
He
yeah,
was.
like
Yeah.
you know how to smoke.
They
and
did
you're
it
a
before.
fucking baby.
Nah, for real.
They did
like
it
you've
before.
had practice. Like it takes work to get high. Like
And then
you
she was
gotta
like-
learn how to get high.
She was like, and they're like, ooh, you got the hit. You hit that. I was like,
Ignorant.
oh, shit.
Yeah.
They went to prison the next day.
Did you see their mugshot?
no,
They look dumb.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
oh man, it would.
Do
when
they
you
look
see-
inbred?
They look like
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, two ladies. One clearly was dyking hard.
Hell
And,
yeah.
One looked like 6'9".
Yeah, she did.
Oh, she did. I know it's the light skin
Yeah,
one.
the sickly, like it's like a dark tint to the light skin. Like they look
Ooh,
like
you do
they sick.
heroin, you do meth.
Yeah,
You do something
tatted
Like, you
else.
up and
fucked
shit.
up.
Face
Yeah.
tats and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Yeah, this young generation, these face tats. It's
they're
crazy.
so stupid.
Crazy.
Like, as soon as I open my first business, I am going to definitely start tattoo. I have no tattoos. I'm definitely going to start getting tattoos,
But it's like not gonna be on my face.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a sleeve, and then I'm gonna do just the left side of my body, so I can have one part where I can still see my skin, but then the other side just like whatever. It's gonna be a whole bunch of Jesus stuff.
Are you gonna put tats on your face?
No, fuck no.
Okay.
Maybe if I'm
I
like,
would go as far to get a neck tattoo.
Yeah.
How high would
Yeah,
you
I
go?
would get a neck tattoo.
if I would do maybe my spine, like do something down there, but I feel like a lot of my shit's gonna be like Bible verses and positivity things and beautiful.
Affirmations.
Yeah.
And hashtag.
Do you guys like Charlemagne the God?
He's cool.
He's from
he's
Musquana though.
Huh?
He's from Musquana.
Yeah, he from out the country.
Shaquana?
No.
Bitch, I hate you.
She is dogging us, bro.
No, I didn't hear what you
She
said.
is dogging us,
What
bro.
did you- I thought you heard Shaquana. I thought you said Shaquana.
That little wretched asshole.
What did you say? I'm sorry. I missed what you said.
Monk's Corner.
Oh, Monk's Corner. Damn, you have an accent. My bad. I sound like a little valley girl. I heard Shaquana.
Shaquana.
That's your white voice.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
There probably is a Shaquana, a couple of them in Charleston.
Why, you like Charlemagne?
Yeah, but I see how he really pisses people off because he is kind of like a troll. He really be trolling people and saying some off the wall shit. And
Yeah.
people who don't know him are probably like, he's a fucking asshole, so. But I love him. He's great. And he's good
funny.
He's good at trolling. Like, he's talented at it, He
I
gets
think
paid a
his-
lot for it.
I think his end game is good. Sometimes what I don't like about him, I think sometimes he's too passive.
You think so?
Yeah, I think like sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I think like he could be more militant, or he can take a better stand. Like
A harder stance.
Yeah, a harder stance. Like back in Hillary Clinton and just some things around that era, and I was like, bro, you kind of disappoint us being from Charleston. Yeah. And especially, we having the
Okay.
Dylan Roof thing, and
Oh, yeah, you guys did have that in the church, right?
yeah,
You guys are from Charleston?
yeah, we're from Charleston.
Do you live in Charleston right now?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
live in Charleston.
Damn, how was that?
It changed the whole shift. The whole
Yeah.
vibe, the time changed. Actually, one of the members that get killed, Taiwan's and Sanders, that's one of my close homeboys.
What?
But yeah, that shit
It was
just
terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. Like because of the ages of everybody, you know what I mean. It really hurt everybody in Charleston. Like your mama, your auntie, your granny, your great granny. Somebody knew somebody out of that church in some way, somehow that affected
Wow.
somebody. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my God, I can only imagine.
Also, that it was a racial act, and the way that it
Yeah.
went down,
And where it went down.
the way it went down, I think it affected the whole city, white, black, or whatever, and young white boy killing elderly people.
Yeah.
in a
When all the
church.
children-
Yeah,
In
one
the
of them
church.
man who
Yeah.
they were praying. with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they're not releasing the footage.
I heard after he said, like, oh, they were really nice people,
Oh,
but,
yeah.
I just came here to do this,
Yeah,
so.
that's right. It was a mission, and also how the police treated
Handled it.
Dylan Roof. So
With so much care.
They took
and
him
like,
to Burger King.
Right.
Got him a meal.
Shut the fuck
Right.
up.
Word to my
It's
mother.
like congratulations.
Word to my mother. They took him
They
to
treated him with
That's some
care.
KKK shit. That's the fucking KKK.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You're right.
What the
I'll make a
fuck?
point.
That's why I wonder, like, is mental health different in white communities compared to black communities? Like, is the distinction, like, is there something different?
Yes.
Like, is there not, because sometimes when they say like stuff for them is mental health, it's just like, nah, fam. At this point, I think you're evil. Because I feel like
Right.
there's a line between mental health and evil. Like, because some of this shit that people do and then they slap mental health on it, I'm like, no, you're evil. Like,
Yeah.
On
you
the
have
flip side of the
something real
coin, though,
wrong.
I think from us, our community, dealing with things like this and dealing with prejudice or KKK police, it kind of warps our mind also, our sanity. That's
True.
why I said you didn't understand me, but I said, yeah, we retarded. Niggas retarded. So, yeah, dealing with that pressure.
That's
Yeah,
what we do.
definitely.
Yeah.
Do you-
Coping with alcohol and all kinds of
Yeah.
things.
And you
Come
have-
on.
and
I was
you
gonna
live in
say,
a
do you
place
think
where
it makes you feel less than, like, the
Charleston.
fact that y'all have to deal with that shit and you
Yes.
see how people treat you? It's like you automatically feel less than.
100%.
and I couldn't imagine living in a place where you know that your own police like
Don't
us-
give a
Us, we
fuck.
question it in California because we still have LA, we still have Compton, South Central, all that stuff. But in an area like that, more in the South, it's like you really have to question if your cops actually give a fuck about you. Like they might all be connected to some KKK shit or some just
We don't
racist
question
shit.
them.
Nah.
And
It's
all
like,
we
you
know for
know.
a fact they're not for us.
You just
And no
gotta,
question.
you just gotta wear that shit on your shoulder and just keep on moving. You know what I
Damn.
mean? You just gotta move light, and that's just how it is. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's just really you gotta move. But it's just so wild because knowing the location of the church and knowing downtown Charleston and knowing like how the police move in downtown Charleston, they're always right there. They're always. How did this man make it all the way up
Yeah.
to North Carolina? This man, he damn near been gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was out, and how did he get away? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a bigger picture that I look at because I just know like, I mean, it can be like an altercation. They swerving
Yep.
on you on King Street. You know what I mean? That's right there downtown. You know
It's
what I
a
mean?
block up the street.
Yeah.
There's clubs.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're always posted.
They're
at the,
always
there's
posted
a
up.
gas station. They're
Wow.
always
Gas
there.
station or the Holiday Inn that was right there. And it's so wild because the Holiday Inn, they took a shot of the church from the Holiday Inn, but it had like the picture of the Holiday Inn in it.
Uh-huh.
The Holiday Inn tweeted the news channel saying, "Can you please remove us? We had nothing to do with this." Like, and it was just like, I understand like your brand, but if this is a stationary area where the city of Charleston has police, which nobody questioned.
Yeah.
Man, it's so much fugazi stuff in that shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's deep. You know what I mean?
They took this nigga to Burger King. You got me totally fucked up.
Nah, for real.
Right.
For real.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just murdered all these folks.
That's
You
a
take
shit
him to
in
Burger
itself.
King. Fuck his food. He shouldn't even eat for the next 24 hours.
Nah, for
like,
real.
Like, cause you see, like in
What?
movies and stuff, and you hear like accounts from people, and like I don't know, y'all probably experienced this shit yourself. The treatment that Black Americans get from officers when they ain't even done shit,
that's
in comparison to this man that murdered people in a church, and then they're gonna take him to fucking Burger King.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, like it's like congratulatory. It's like,
is.
oh,
It
you
is.
know,
thank
what?
you
Thanks.
for sacrificing yourself
Yeah.
for us. Because he's going to go to jail for life. But it's like, thank you for sacrificing your life for what we would like, which is for Black people to die and to be
Yeah.
miserable.
But not only that though, not only to die, but it's the fear that
Yeah.
he put in and reinstilled
Yeah.
into the community of Charleston.
No safe
And
place.
then so afterwards, like the year, that same year or the winter before, we had the shooting, Michael Slager, police shooting of an unarmed black man
Running away from the
running
police officer.
like 4 shots.
I
in the
remember
back.
that. What
Right.
the fuck, man?
So the lawyer who represented Dylan Roof firm also represented the police.
Jesus Christ.
So it's a reinstillment of fear into the Black community of Charleston, and then like there's a congressional Black committee of church leaders in Charleston. You know, they did where they addressed the public or whatever, and they was like, you know, singing the Forgive song or whatever, you know. So that's what you're dealing with, like a ultimate level of coon in Charleston.
No, that's facts.
You're dealing with like,
Kumbaya
real, that's a
ass
big fact.
niggas.
They'll settle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why do you guys think it's like that? Is it to like keep the peace and like keep things rolling,
was,
or
yeah,
it's just like not to like upset things?
So we have a bridge called the Cooper River Bridge, or the
Now it's the
Arthur Ravenel Bridge. Now it's a new bridge or whatever. So what they did was march hand in hand across the whole bridge or whatever, showing like peace and unity and this and this and this, versus retaliating, destroying property and shit like that, saying that we can come together as one. You know what I mean? And in a sense, big up. But also, how many times y'all gonna continue to hold hands and sing Kumbaya when this shit needs to hit the fan? Like, really, it needs to be action behind it.
That's why I don't agree with that, like, Martin Luther King bullshit. Like, I'm not marching and being peaceful about shit. Like, if I'm really about to be upset about something, I'm gonna be upset about it. Like, because when I'm emotionally committed to stuff, like, I am committed to it. And it's like, people say like I'm aggressive about stuff, and it's like I'm gonna be aggressive about this change. Like, why am I gonna be peacefully marching when it's like somebody can kill me without blinking an fucking eye?
But in Charleston, it's still the plantation still exists.
The mentality.
And so the plantations are still there, it still exists.
That's fucking crazy.
They're the number one
check
weapon.
this out: the black class or the black community in Charleston is ruled or governed by mulatto or certain black people who sit at the table with white people, and they eat with white people, and it's me and you, but these field Negroes are different. You know what I mean? And so in our history, just like you said, they try to keep up the status quo, try to keep things going as it is. Some black people are paid. There's some black millionaires in there, but they stay fat while the rest of everybody else, starve. Yeah, and it's just to keep it up. Like Denmark Vesey, if y'all know who Denmark Vesey is, he led a would-be slave rebellion in Charleston. And so the people who sold him out was a brown, bourgeois committee. You know what I mean? And they didn't want the slave rebellion to go because it would overthrow the white class who was like on their heels, because this was at that time, and so that still exists in Charleston.
There's so much history in Charleston.
Yeah, it's interesting how I know a lot of slavery started in South Carolina, and on our end, it's like it's weird we don't experience it because we're from California, which used to be part of Mexico. So it's like on our end, like Mexican people or black people are treated poorly, but Mexican people are
treated worse.
Are like the black people of the South.
Yeah.
Like they really are out here struggling. Like, it is pretty bad, but they're willing to do any type of work, but it's like they really are just kicking them out. People are getting deported left and right. And
in South Carolina, Mexicans are doing better than black people.
Sheesh.
That's a fact.
They mass you out. 24 karat goes in their mouth. Trucks sitting high on rims. Like they live.
But even the working class, even the Mexicans who could be illegal, even them,
they're doing well.
They're doing better.
They want to keep you guys down.
Yes, 100%. There's a bottom class that like Charleston is gentry, so it's like the wealthy can live great here. You know what I mean? Like the tea and crumpets. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's a bottom class that has to be servants to that. It has to be the dishwashers that has to cook the food. So our staples of our culture is food, servants, things like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not doctors, it's not lawyers, not like we interviewed one of my first podcasts. I interviewed she's one of the first neurosurgeons in MUSC.
Black neurosurgeon.
Yeah, young black girl.
I remember reading an article on her, but I can't remember her name.
Her name's
I'm trying to Google her.
Ebony Hilton.
Yeah, Ebony Hilton. She's married now.
But other than her, she's in her 20s. You know what I mean?
Damn.
So there's not in 30s, all 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Other than like, if your parent was like a radical,
Right.
Other than that, it's the ultimate level of coonship. It's like Boondocks.
Damn.
No, definitely.
It's
Straight
a
up.
servitude mentality everywhere.
Sheesh.
And our culture runs Charleston. I mean, Black Gullah Geechee culture runs Charleston.
Yeah.
They will sell you. They'll have you'll sit down at a table and then be like, your centerpiece is cotton.
Jesus.
What? Okay, so were y'all like Kevin Hart when y'all were little and they tried to like take you guys to a plantation for a field trip? Because
Yeah,
remember that
yeah,
joke that he told? Like, so y'all definitely did that
Yeah.
shit?
Yeah.
What
Well,
the
see,
Oh my God.
I grew
Why
up
would
in
they take
Durham, North Carolina. So we used to go to Duke Homestead, which was still a plantation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also, you know, my grandparents lived in Charleston, so that's why I moved from Durham, North Carolina to Charleston.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a grew up partial, like 10 years in Durham, and then the rest of my life I've been in Charleston. So I'm pretty much from Charleston also. So, like, when we would go to, like, plantations and shit like that, it just be like, I know all this stuff because my grandparents fed us stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Roots, every time we visit Charleston, we watch Roots as a family. Like, I
Damn.
know this shit.
That's the culture. For
Yeah.
real.
I have never seen that movie all the way through.
Me
Wow.
neither.
No.
It's very fucking long.
I imagine. That's probably why I haven't finished it.
It's like 2 days long.
Yeah, for real. For real. Like, you started that morning, I mean, the smells in your granny house just rolling. You smell everything, but it's just like, yeah, but this damn movie is still going.
Right.
Like, it was probably, 8, 9 tapes. Like, nah, for real.
Jesus.
Well, fuck.
Yeah, it's aggressive as hell, but it was needed. You know what I mean? Like, that's our culture. You know what I mean? And just Charleston, I mean, going to the slave market and all that, you get that in Charleston.
The slave market, please expand. What the fuck?
Yes.
All right,
I'm
so-
sorry, like living on the West Coast is so different. You're so far removed from Black history. Like, you don't learn anything in school about Black history.
You learn
like,
Spanish.
You learn minimal, and that's it.
You speak Spanish. You practice Spanish.
You
That's
learn
what you do in
Spanish,
California.
You learn about a few plantations. You learn about slavery lightly. You learn about Egypt lightly. Like, you don't learn about a lot of the Black history. A lot of it is whitewashed. Like, my cousin, she is a freshman in high school, and she didn't know about how they were doing experiments on the people of Tuskegee. Like, she didn't know that happened at all. Like, so I had to educate her on that because she was not aware. Like, schools do not teach any of this shit on the West Coast. And I don't know if it's the schools that we attended or if, like, that's just, like, a general consensus that they
It's a
don't.
different nation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different nation.
So, like, what is the slave market? Because my heart's hurt. I need to know.
All right, so in Charleston, is actual street called Market Street, but that is where right now you can set up shop. There's a bunch of venues and all this shit now, but this is actually where people came to buy slaves right off the water. They brought you onto the battery.
The custom house is
custom
at the
house.
top of Market Street.
Yeah,
So you check your gear.
yeah. The market is where you come. Oh, he's well fed. He's muscular. This and this and this. Let me get this nigger. That is the market, and that's the history of it now.
Sheesh.
Everybody used to go party on market now.
Yeah.
They cut that shit. There's no parties, there's no clubs, there's none of that. They're really just now is after the venues and all the places closed, it's a ghost town. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But it's so wild though because it's still so much history onto Market Street, and they just moved it away. Like they pushed it away from Market Street. But when you go down there, I mean, the custom house is still there. You know, like the history of Charleston is so much, and it needs to be in books. And it's wild that y'all don't even know this. You know
No,
what I mean?
that's why I was like so
Yeah.
shocked. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Don't know shit.
Like, huh?
That's
Myself, I love the history. I love to educate myself on the history because I think it's very rich.
Yeah.
And for American history, it's really rich because the stories and the lessons and all of that comes from it. I think if we internalize it, and if you think about what your ancestors, immediate ancestors, went through in that era as enslaved people in this country, I think there's power in that. I think there's inspiration in that. You know, there's some sort of drive in there.
it's
And
turned up
also-
in that for real.
It's like
Also-
they made it enough to have you.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm
so-
here. I'm the 2018
Yeah.
version.
Yes.
You know, and so on
True.
with my family. So that's God right there. But also check it out. In America, because of the school books were false, we don't know that like those African people, they did not go lightly into slavery. You know,
Right.
like
They fought.
there was constant fighting, constant rebellion. You know, and that's. Like I mentioned, Denmark Vesey, that's very inspirational to me. That there's men in Charleston, black men, in that time who bought their freedom. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And then turned around and tried to buy their
everybody
family
else's
freedom.
freedom. Yep.
But the slave owners were so evil that they will sell your wife off and sell your, you know what
Everybody.
I mean?
Yeah.
Sell
Everybody in your
off.
family. Yeah.
But that shit, the plantations are still intact, and they still. I mean, from front gate to back gate, they are immaculate. So
Wow.
they are like
They're kept for one.
wow.
And so it's like the plantation isn't for slaves anymore, but they're still profiting off the history of
Yes.
slaves.
Like we have our tourist business.
The
Our
whole
tourist
city
business
is booming.
is booming, and people get married in Charleston on a
On the
Thursday night,
plantation.
on a
Yeah.
Friday night. It's so much because Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is booked up. Like that's why
Wow.
our city is like one of the biggest destinations for weddings and for
That's
travel.
ridiculously
Because
racist.
They want to hold on. That's that Make America Great Again type of shit.
Yeah,
So
that's
like
what they
I
consider
can
great.
understand how y'all feel differently about Kanye than like us in
He sounds
California
crazy
feel about
saying,
California.
"Oh, they
It
let it
was a
happen.
choice.
It was a choice." It was like you realize how many people died just trying to get out or save their
Yeah.
family, not even themselves. You know, comes from such ignorance, man. And he actually said, even with this presidential
You know
shit,
what?
he didn't do any reading.
I think that he said that because he been around too much white people.
Yeah.
And not around too many people who who are descendants of slaves, where they were just like you saying shit that'll make them say, like you said, like, yeah, that's right. No, that's their perspective. Like you can say they had a choice. Oh, if you don't work, I'm gonna shoot you or I'm gonna starve you.
Right.
You got a choice. There's a choice there, but
Yeah.
there's death on the other side of that
Yeah.
choice.
Right.
So it's not really a choice, it's an ultimatum.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's
Exactly.
no choice.
Like
It's either
He
I
came
do
from-
this or I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
And yes, some people are willing to die, but not everyone's willing to fucking die. Some people need to be around for their fucking kids, And then the slave master was fucking some of the women, and
And
these
some of
women
the
now have to
kids.
have. Yeah, that's sad.
sadly.
These disgusting
Nah,
people.
It's wild, man.
They were
It's-
definitely
Yeah,
having
there's
sex
still
with
hanging
kids.
trees.
Yeah.
Still
And-
the landmarks where they did sell slaves from other houses.
They
Yeah.
keep the trees up.
They keep the trees up.
Wow.
Split
Like
the
it's always
roads
gonna,
with the trees,
because those were in black.
And their excuse is the
Denominated
moss.
areas, yeah.
The moss that is produced by the tree is rare. So
The fuck that mean?
it serves a purpose technically by you can't fuck with PETA or SPCA
Yeah,
or
right.
no nature fucking people.
Yeah.
You can't.
Right.
That's a battle that you're not going to win. So if this is something for somebody's habitat, fucking maybe red bugs or some bed bugs or some shit like that. Listen, they're not cutting nothing down like that. That you ride down Highway 61 in Charleston, South Carolina, you'll see moss trees going straight down to the plantation.
Yeah.
When you get on the plantation, it's moss trees. People come to Charleston for that vibe. They come for that old time. I want an old timey wedding. They'll have a wedding dress with some cowboy boots on. Like literally,
Oh my God.
cannot make this up.
That shit just hurts.
They're
my
like, these were the
feelings.
good old days where you could just buy black people to work for you. That's what they're good for.
But it's like to them, there's no association to that. Like,
Yeah, some
to
people are
an
like, this
extent,
is
there
cute. This is cute.
Yeah,
It
and,
looks
and
good.
for other people, it's like this is a whole vibe. Like, I just like the way these things feel, but they don't understand by like them saying like they like the way that these things feel. It's like they're promoting racism,
misery, rape, death,
like,
murder,
all
racism,
these foul things that happen to
bigotry.
African American people.
But let us also say that South Carolina is a state that just recently took the Confederate flag down.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, thank
So
God.
that's
Yeah, it's trying to turn
Strides,
up slowly
yeah.
but surely. They're trying to make the change and make the turn up, but there's Calhoun. I mean, it burns my soul to even talk about this man, but his statue sits so high because it used to get vandalized so much, so they put it up. I mean, higher. It's right there at peaks of high as crosses. You know what I mean? And Charleston is the holy city, so our airline you can't fly. Above the highest church.
Yeah.
So you can't build
Below.
anything
Okay.
higher than the highest cross in Charleston.
Oh.
So his statue's damn near as high as one of those, so that nobody can touch it, and it's so wild because the Calhoun family wanted nothing to do with Charleston. Like when he died, Charleston was the one that wanted to hold on to this man. I mean, he brought so much slaves, and you know, so he played such a big role in Charleston, but Charleston glorified this man so much. You know what I mean? And his family didn't want nothing to do with Charleston, but Charleston wanted that shit so bad
because of the politics. His style of politics, it would have kept Charleston richer for a few more decades after, you know, the Civil War. And we only talking about this dumb shit because Charleston still holds on to that history of the Civil War era. You know what I mean? You see people walking down in the Confederate outfits. You know what I mean? Like reenacting type stuff. Yeah.
They'll stand on the corner with
They'll stand on the corner
flags.
every Sunday.
Military with the little hats.
Once a month on a Sunday, they're out there.
Just to remind you, they're also probably members of the KKK.
Nah,
That's what you grew up with. They don't consider it that.
All right, so
Want to do Look at God?
Oh yeah, let's do a look at God. So basically, on every episode, we do a look at God or ICU universe for people who don't believe in God because we accept everyone.
Happens.
We accept everyone, and so we just talk about something that we're grateful for. I can't think of one right now, so I need a second. Does anyone have anything that's popping up that they're grateful for?
I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
thank you.
Truly.
Me too.
We've been in communication for quite some time.
Yeah.
And you know, actually making this whole thing happen in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Like this is dope.
That's big.
I was gonna say that also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Mac were talking. I mean, we were just like, yo, this shit. This opened door for so much, you know what I mean? Just doing work with other podcasters.
True.
You know, it's just like y'all on the West Coast, we're on the East Coast, you know what I mean? Like that's a huge door that just opened. You know what I mean? Like that's amazing. But I'm truly thankful for y'all and this opportunity.
Well, thank you for meeting us here.
Right.
We both traveled pretty far.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm grateful for the contribution that each of y'all made for, you know, this to go off.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm really, you know, feeling the now right now and whatever comes from this. Also, I'm grateful for the listeners, you know, the workaholics
Always.
and everyone else. You know, I'm grateful for the contributions.
Everyone's sitting in traffic listening to us.
Yeah. Big
That's
up.
fantastic.
That's really what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
Or at work listening.
Yeah.
At work listening.
Try not to
when
laugh.
They shouldn't be. Try not to
Right.
laugh. I'm definitely grateful. I'm grateful for my two brothers right here. We've been doing this. Shemek's been doing this, 5 years now?
3.
3. 3. Feels like 5. I could have swore we started in 14.
15.
But yeah, it's been a nice ride. And I'm just grateful to be here.
Yeah.
It's been interesting, and I love the growth. I love
That's
seeing
very
the
true.
growth. I remember how I first started when he first asked me, so I just love the growth. I love the process.
We feel that way about ourselves
You
also.
definitely get more comfortable because I feel like Nina and I are at the point where we're like getting comfortable
Yeah,
now with it.
we're
Because like
comfortable.
podcasts are different. Like it is like a sense of talk radio, but it's still like a little bit more like uncut, laid back. Like
be real.
it's not rigid. Like so it's ever changing. My look at God, I think appreciate the education because like in California we don't know this shit. I didn't apply to any HBCUs. Like, all my schools were trash, like, with the education on, like, African Americans and things like that. So, like, I appreciate the enlightenment. I appreciate you guys' times. It was great conversation. And then look at God that, like, we get to be here, like, and per usual, technical difficulties, but look at God, that shit worked out.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like mine is such a mixture of everyone's. My look at God is once again, thank you for coming very far for coming. It's very fun to do a collab episode. See, I suck at this. Ashley always has to remind me. I'm so grateful for everything. But look at God, that kind of the same thing where it's like we got some more education on like the real Black history and what really went down because we did not know this shit. We don't learn this stuff in California.
I feel robbed.
Yeah, and we even look back at our elementary education and we're like, damn, y'all lied to us. They really did lie in some of our books, you know, like about how shit really went down because
it didn't seem as brutal. Like, you know how like you get older and you learn about like slavery and you learn about what happened to us and like the struggles that we go through and like went through and continue to go through. It's just like that shit is mind blowing. And it, like if y'all don't believe in mental health, like you could have depression about that shit,
right?
Because it's still present,
and it can be what's it called where it goes from generation to generation. It could be
No, hereditary.
Hereditary, but yeah, intergenerational
But,
also.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm like, okay, you got that one too. But yeah, so it's good learning about stuff like this because, and I'm also Nigerian, so we're a whole different thing where we don't even care about Black history. Not saying that I don't, but a lot of Nigerians don't. They care about Nigerian history.
Yes, yeah, I want to talk to you about that also.
I mean, I don't know shit about Nigerian history though.
I don't even know
were you
about
gonna
my
ask?
family history.
Like you said, they don't care. Do Nigerians consider themselves? Do you consider yourself like an African American or Black, or would you?
I consider myself an African American, but yeah, like Nigerians also have biases towards Black people.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Because I remember my parents got here when they were 19 and 22.
Yeah.
And so it's like they had to go through people saying like go back to Africa
Yeah.
and being treated like shit by other Black people because they were African and not Black. And so and there is a disparity between like African people's success levels and Black people's success levels in
100%.
America. So there's also the Nigerian people who look down on Black people, but it's like, I mean, Nigerian people, there is a chance that our ancestors were slaves, but there is a chance that our ancestors were not slaves, you know, because they stayed in the village and they lived their normal village life for so many generations. And so I feel like there is that disparity where some Nigeria, but we are held to that standard of, oh, you're African, you need to do these things this way.
You're going
and
to medical school at 17.
Yeah, we were going to undergrad to eventually go to
Yeah.
medical school, but we changed our mind because we were like, oh, I hate this, you know, like.
But it was all our parents' dream. Like our parents are the ones who initiated it.
Yeah.
And like I remember my dad, he would brag about it all the time. Like, yeah, my daughter's going to medical school and this, that, and that. And it's like, I didn't even apply yet. Like, what are you talking about? And
Nigeria also?
no, but like my parents, like, they just hold their kids to a high standard, you know? So it's just like they want us to have the best that we can have.
My mom did that for the girls, but for the boys, not so much.
Damn. No, honestly, my parents did fall off with raising my brother. And it's like, but it's like a lot of stuff when it comes to my brother. So it's not like, with him, it's not easy.
It's not one
you
thing.
know, it's not easy.
Yeah, my parents were very strict.
Yeah.
You know, so they kind of made us. They created us. Like they made us some sort of
Right.
machine.
Yeah.
Because we were like never allowed to miss school.
Nope.
Like if you got a C, you would get in trouble. Like it was just like a whole bunch of bullshit. Weren't allowed to go to birthday parties and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, I just got my master's like a month and a half ago. So I'm like, I guess it paid off.
Like, I
Thank
guess
you.
it worked.
I guess it
congrats.
worked.
Yeah.
You know,
It
like,
definitely
Big up.
did. Right?
thank you.
Yeah.
It's just it was a lot of work, a lot of depression.
And you're lucky your parents treated you the same way. Like, my parents treated me different than they treated all my siblings, I feel like.
My parents
Are you
treated
the
me
oldest?
different.
No, I'm the youngest.
Oh, shit.
And,
Oh,
like,
wow.
I feel like I got treated differently than, like, all the rest of them.
I got treated differently because I spoke up for myself.
That too.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Like, I feel like parents do notice, like, the differences in their children, but, like, I feel like my standard is like higher than all my siblings.
Definitely.
And like continually to this day, my standard of living is different than my siblings.
They expect more out of us. That's why me and
Yeah.
Ashley are looked at as like, out of the 4 kids, we are the only kid that our parents are truly
Yeah.
expecting to pay for their shit when they get older. Like, and so we have that responsibility and we keep that in mind. Like, okay, when we get
That shit's
successful
stressful.
eventually, because I'm like, rent is this much. Like, I'm calculating my parents' bills. Like, okay, I'm gonna need to make this much. You know,
Yeah.
so. It's interesting, and being a woman and being Black and understanding that, like, I understand that sometimes when I apply for a job, I'm just getting it because I'm a quota, like, because I'm like, oh, I'm the only Black person here. Okay, cool, that's why I got the job.
Token.
Or that's why, I'm the token. That's why I got into this school. I'm the only Black person who applied for this program, so they got to let me in.
Like a lot of stuff is afforded to you for like certain things for certain reasons. It doesn't make it any better.
Affirmative action is a real thing, especially
and that's
in
why,
California.
like, when white people get mad about affirmative action, it's like, well, look, I may not have even been good enough, but due to this law, they have to give me this job. And it's like, it's a different level of like when, like, you know, that one meme where it's like white men get to be mediocre and get this good ass job where you can't be mediocre to get this job.
Right.
It's like their mediocre is different than ours. Like we could have all the accolades and everything, but it's like, well, I mean, she's
you
a
don't
Black
have enough
woman.
years here.
Yeah,
so.
but due to this law, I gotta give this to you. Like, it doesn't make it any better. Like,
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, don't ever like throw that in my face about affirmative action, because that don't make shit gravy for me.
Yeah.
Didn't do anything.
Nah, it's like I know I'm less than, but I'm still here.
I saw a meme or post or something that said, women don't be afraid to ask men to pay for your drinks because they get paid more than you. Like the wage gap, you know, they're paying the difference of the wage gap.
But that's still a dumbass excuse, but valid.
It is, yeah, it's valid, but it's like only if he has a fucking job. If he don't got shit, it ain't no wage gap, nigga. There's no wages.
We on the same level.
Have you ever bought a guy a drink?
Oh yeah,
I know
yeah,
about it. I mean, like I buy my boyfriend drinks. I buy him stuff all the time, but it's just like I ain't bought no random nigga a drink.
I mean, she's been in a relationship for like forever.
I can't remember.
But yeah, it's like that's nothing to me. You know, it's like I don't need a man's money. You know, so we really take care of ourselves. Yeah, and so we have no problem doing it. You know,
young and getting it.
Salute. Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it means.
Literally,
exactly.
Yeah, young getting that money.
Nah, but I would say, you know, I've seen the growth from your first podcast till, you know, almost to your 50th, you know, podcast. I definitely like just sitting down and just seeing it in live action versus just like YouTube and that. You know, it's just seeing like, yo, y'all really on it. Like,
Thank
truly.
you.
Like that's dope as shit.
Appreciate it. And we're not sober, so I guess that's good.
Fuck being sober.
Right, fuck being sober.
All right, let me ask y'all a question in hip hop. All right, so right now, who's the hottest right now in California that everybody's bumping? Are y'all fucking with the Carter 5?
Who's the hottest? I mean,
we forgot to talk about that.
We've listened to most of it, like, and I think it was just like another album. I don't think it was definitely not his best, you know. But no, I don't think anyone thinks that.
I just felt like he sounded like a sad crackhead, kind of like how Future sounds. Like you know how Future sounds like a sad drug addict, like, and like Future literally has a song like "I Hate Myself," and it's like Wayne didn't physically say that, but you still get that vibe from some of the songs that you listen to. Like he has some bangers on there, but like for the most part, it's like. This is sad drug addict music. And like, I don't like, I'm on this tip right now where it's like, I'm not trying to let like negative things affect me or like things that like I'm gonna be falsely envious of affect me. And like, that's why I've been like stepping back from social media is like, and just like shit that's like, this is poisoning my body. Yeah. Like, it doesn't even have to be food. Like, it could be things that you're seeing that are poisoning your body, poisoning your mindset. Yeah. And it's like, I'm trying to cut back on that. So, like, with music like his, where it's, like, the connotation or just, like, the vibe of it is negative, I can't do it, you know?
That's more that cup of blood type shit. Yeah.
That cup of blood.
Oh, fuck.
That gives you grounds to fight a bitch.
That
gives you grounds to fight a bitch. That is assault.
I was waiting on it.
That bitch is crazy.
Holy shit.
And did you hear the new development? I said it on the most recent episode, but I asked my friend actually just told me more about it because I was like, well, you know, crazy bitches love you. And he actually noticed that everything she was cooking for him was red.
That's terrible.
So all he would cook, she would make is sloppy joes, which is like looks like blood. Sloppy joes in spaghetti with the marinara in the sauce, and then some other red dish. Like he realized, and then I would be like, okay, but you would go back into California because they live in a different state. I was like, you go back to California and visit your mom. How are you still under the trance? He was like, if I was gone for more than 2 weeks, she would come to California and go in the house and make sloppy joes and spaghetti.
Baby girl,
so she made sure
get a better cookbook.
Get a recipe, bitch.
Sloppy joes and
that's fucking nasty.
Yeah, I mean I can eat a sloppy joe like here and there, but fucking
hell no.
I mean he was
every 2 weeks.
He was eating bad.
I'll be
so
throwing
I can
it
see
out,
that.
man, telling him.
Nah, for real.
I'm gonna go to the store real quick.
Yeah, one of my childhood friends, like,
I would just dump it.
Yeah, I can't even lie. I was
girl.
waiting on the train to pass, and you was like, blah, blah. Like your sound effects had me fucking weak. Like, for real though. But I was just like, yo, I feel you. Though. That shit, I was
That's
like,
disgusting.
Nah, it's
like
for real.
Honestly,
and people really
TMI,
do that.
I don't even like changing a fucking pad. You think I'm gonna collect my fucking blood?
Yo.
Like no. Get over it, you fuck bitches.
Yeah, some people you gotta run the red light.
Yeah, you know it's happened like the last couple days when she's spotting you done did that shit. See, you did it. So don't be over there talking about nah.
Sometimes you gotta get yours.
He said change the pad, like
nigga.
For
what?
real, I tell my girl I don't.
She ain't ever forgot to flush the toilet.
On a period.
She ain't never
I
forgot.
Looks like somebody died in the toilet.
I will throw up immediately. I got a soft.
I
I got a gag reflex.
He was straight.
Nah, for
gagging.
real.
I
Yeah.
will yak.
For real,
Right
for
here.
real.
I
Yeah.
swear to God.
It's just nasty.
Tragic.
Forgot
Good thing
to
you ain't a
flush the
woman.
toilet? No, my girl ain't never. She ain't never forgot to flush the toilet.
Shit, I've. Sorry.
You
Nah.
have?
Yeah.
When
it
I was a
happened.
lifeguard early in my life, yo,
Ooh, them,
Yeah.
them globs of
will
blood.
Like,
tell
if your
you.
cramps are that bad, you might forget.
man,
She
listen,
has bad cramps, and I feel
Yeah.
very sorry for her. Excuse me, Dash.
Yeah,
you good.
sorry.
I do.
Yeah, like if you got cramps, like I be getting them sometimes, you might forget.
I feel sorry for her.
Nah,
All this PMS
I'm
talk.
just gonna say.
You got babies.
Cleaning the
She wasn't
girls
baby, she's
cleaning the girls' bathroom versus the
Yeah.
guy bathroom. I would
It's a
take,
whole different beast.
I would take the guys back. I would buy somebody's lunch
Guys will be shit and piss.
over cleaning the
Yes,
girls' locker.
yes.
Women's will be hair, shit, piss, period, and makeup.
Shit on the
For real.
walls.
And
Like I have
makeup.
seen
Oh my
shit on the
God.
walls. I
Shit
don't
on
get
the
it.
walls.
How does that
Yeah.
happen? Why is there shit on the walls?
a
So tell
nasty
me
Why?
bitch. Yeah.
That's a nasty bitch.
No,
That's all that is.
I'm just gonna say, I got petrified. Like literally, I had to talk to my boss. Like I was like, yo, I would quit.
Right.
For real.
You got 3 daughters. You dealing with this?
Yes.
Tragic. They have attitudes.
You
for
got
real.
to buy their
Yeah.
pads.
How are
All I
their
can say is,
attitudes?
yeah,
How old's the oldest
Trash.
11.
one? Okay.
Oh shit,
You're not
she
at
about
the,
to be there.
You're not about to
No,
buy.
She's
some
already
girls
there.
start at 8, right?
she's already
Yeah, some
there.
girls start at 8 now.
You have to go to the store and buy the pads.
That's just
Chicken.
crazy.
I remember my dad
She
calling me
didn't
and be
allow me
like,
to.
my dad would be like,
Yeah.
call me from the store, which pad, no, he always called them
Do the
tampons.
Nigerian
She's
accent.
too.
Which I don't know how to do it that well.
See, my mom went to Costco and she would get the big box. She was like, y'all bitches ain't never running out.
Oh
We
my
going to
God.
get the big box from Costco.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's uncomfortable with me buying her stuff. She doesn't even want anybody to know.
Why?
She just feels uncomfortable about
Tampons
it.
I mean,
are
it
bad
is
for women.
nasty, so I feel it.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
plugging.
it's nasty.
Tampons are bad. It puts chemicals
Yeah.
back in your body, so don't even bother buying those. For
I
your child.
can't.
Plug in the hole. Huh?
I literally
Yeah,
can't.
plugging a hole, and then the tampons are dipped in chemicals before they're like boxed up and shipped. You know, so it's just like
It's
murder.
very bad for you.
I never.
How bad
I,
is Plan B?
I
there's-
don't know how bad it. Oh, you know what? I took it one time and a bitch got real sick, so it's probably very bad for you.
You're not supposed to take it more than 7 times a year, but 7 times is like you're a fucking.
You're
a dumbass,
irresponsible
you
ass
know,
bitch.
Like,
Yeah, right.
you
Like-
just be safe so you don't have to take it. Because I remember this one girl. She was. Oh, you told me someone was taking it every time after they
What?
had sex.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Her shit is fried. Eggs are
Her
done.
eggs are fucking coming out
She
scrambled.
ain't never having kids.
Oh,
Nobody was
no.
eating
Hold
that, dog.
on. How much does Plan B cost in Cali?
$50.
$50.
Okay, so it's around the same.
Yeah.
But
Nationwide.
Ashley in Somerville is 45. But listen,
Oh.
I was gonna
Okay,
say
I need to go
one,
there.
baby. You got 3 babies out there.
allegedly.
Well,
Nah.
oh,
Nah,
it's allegedly a joke.
This shit better be fake.
We're gonna
What the
laugh
fuck?
and move on. You got baby mamas.
nah. But every single time, I mean, she had 50 for that though. Like
I guess so.
that
350.
be-
That means
Shit.
somebody spent, or I don't.
It's cheaper than an abortion to a certain extent, like depending on how often you fucking.
Bitches be scamming for abortions. They be like, "Hey, I'm pregnant. I want an abortion. Give me $500," and they ain't even
Yeah,
pregnant.
It ain't that
And
much.
if
That
dude
happens.
don't want a baby, he'll cough that money up.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yep.
You like, yeah, get
But
rid
like,
of
what if
that.
somebody said that and like they
Kept
was
it.
not, yeah,
Not
and they
pregnant?
wasn't playing? No, they were pregnant and they
Kept the
asked for the
money, kept
money
the
and
baby.
didn't. Yeah,
See, I'll find.
is he
some-
gonna fight a bitch? Because I
No.
would.
punch her in the stomach? No, I'm just kidding. That's so fucked up.
Uppercut bitch.
Let's go to China, Great Wall of China. Just kick her down a
Oh.
section of it. You know, so I just fuck with her.
Oh.
Damn,
I was
like, baby, let's go on vacation.
Hey, baby, let me take you somewhere. Take her to a doc. Just give her the roofie, the Bill Cosby, and get it done. You know, we say that, but I'm like, bet that's happened before.
Yeah,
If you think about it.
on God, somebody has sprinkled some in somebody's food.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
back on you, speaking of Bill Cosby on your podcast, you know, you were saying like back then they was partying and that was just like, you know,
Yeah,
that
that's
was
the wave.
Now, truly, let's keep it a buck now. This is Bill Cosby, and this is like y'all was some young ladies back then. This is fucking Bill Cosby. Y'all was ready to throw your jaws regardless if jaws were
Exactly.
involved or not.
Yeah.
I understand you're going for your dime now, and the females like get your bag and all that shit, the bag queens and shit. Nah, that's it,
But
you-
it's like off top. Don't like if you gonna
if
lie.
you was partying, if y'all was partying, say
Don't be
y'all was
snitching,
partying.
yeah.
You know
Don't
what
be
I
out
mean?
here
Yeah.
lying.
Like if he was really hooping in your cup, and you didn't know,
Right.
then y'all need to keep it
Cool.
real.
Yeah.
But if y'all
You
was
was-
partying, which we know y'all was partying, keep it real.
Yeah, and it's like the truth is like there are girls who will come to have sex, but they just are mad that they weren't awake for it. Like this nigga had sex with my body, my vagina's swollen and shit, and I don't remember.
Probably
nothing.
gave me an abortion pill
right
on the way,
It's
like
in my
that
throat.
cup too.
Right.
Like put like a 2-for-1 deal.
Yeah.
And now I couldn't even get what I came for.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
They
I
shooting
got.
Whack,
they
man.
shooting free throws.
That shit whack.
you 1 for 1. You get the first one, then you get that second shot.
That's whack. Unless she's like hype but don't remember it in the morning.
But Bill Cosby liked
I don't want
having.
to have sex with a corpse. You know?
Yeah,
Right.
for real.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
want-
exactly.
Yeah.
Sex is trash.
Like,
Bill
Can you fuck
Cosby
me back?
liked having sex with non-unconscious
That's
people.
a rapist and
Yeah.
you got a problem.
Yeah, that's why he's in jail. He liked having sex with
Humping
unconscious
body, yeah.
people. And they're all like just flopping, and he's just like, oh, yeah.
What do you call that?
don't look
Getting
at me.
strong in
Don't
it.
look at me.
Dead people. What's it called when you
What's
like
that
dead
mental
people?
illness called? Because he's got a mental illness.
Yeah, that's pedophilia. No, well, that's
No,
not.
no,
not
no,
that.
no, no.
It's a-
Rapism.
No,
Rapism.
It's like arachnophilia or something. that wanna
Oh,
have
that's
sex
dead
with-
people.
But he might-
Arachnophilia.
Necrophilia.
Necrophilia.
That shit? I think it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm right.
Yeah, necrophilia. Having
But either
sex
way,
with dead
there you go.
bodies.
He's got a mental
Somebody
illness.
got locked up recently for that though. They was working at a nurse funeral home and got caught.
Oh, he was
Yeah.
young.
Yeah.
He was like 20, young
Yeah,
20s.
yeah.
I remember that white boy.
Yeah.
He got caught. He got caught having sex with a body that had
That's
just
whack.
died in the hospital.
Yeah.
How you doing that shit at work knowing someone can walk
Shit,
in?
Man, that's whack.
He had sex with a dead body. Damn. Is pussy that hard to get?
But how about girls who want you to like? Maybe a girl wants you to
Choke her?
fake choke her. Or
I mean,
something.
that's fine.
That's
like
okay.
That's not
choking
rape
is
culture?
fine.
No.
No,
So-
some people get off on that
Choking
shit.
is
Like,
fun
like as long
sometimes.
as it's consensual, it's fine. Rape culture is when it's like, oh, hey, pretend to rape me.
I just wanted to.
I don't ever want to do that scenario because that shit's scary. Nah, what would a stranger is scary?
So choking is cool. Consensual choking.
Yes.
Consensual
If I
choking,
tell you
yeah.
to choke me, choke me.
All right,
But
cool.
if it's like you just off top start choking me and I for real look panicked, we got a problem.
You like
No,
this?
for my own conscience.
Yeah.
It's like pass out, pass out,
And to
pass
the
out.
fellas out there, please, y'all. Even if
You
the
better
shorty-
ask.
Yeah, even
Ask
if
if
it's your
she's
shorty,
okay.
I don't care if y'all been dating 20 years. Still ask her.
Oh,
Yo,
no.
it's just
Well.
consensual because
I appreciate when a guy's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
That's something girls
is
don't hear.
that enough though?
Are you okay? Is
Yeah,
enough
because if
for
you
me.
say like you better speak up. At that
Okay.
point, some of it does like sadly, some of it does become your fault. Like
Yeah.
I understand being in a situation where you're not comfortable, but it's
You're
like if you
scared.
don't speak up and if somebody asks you, at that point it's like, well, you said you were fine. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what
And
happens
like
to a lot of
that's where
people,
that
too.
line
Yeah.
gets there,
But
where
see,
it's like,
that's-
are
and
you
that's why
making excuses?
Righteous. And see, that's what I was saying. Like, is saying, "Are you okay?" Justify as far as just saying like, "Do I have your consent?" You know
It's
what
the
I'm
same
saying?
Yeah,
shit.
it's
Because
the
if you're
same
not
shit.
okay, then you don't have my consent.
You need to say
Now
no.
you gotta say
Yeah.
those words. You gotta.
You gotta
I
be
know
like,
that.
yeah, I'm fine.
I mean, yeah, for black men, they will twist it like that. So I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. But yeah, it's like for most people who aren't like just trying to make $1 in court,
Right.
like they'll just, are you okay? You should say yes or no. And
Yes.
if you say no, they need to stop.
And kind of like too, if you don't give a response or like if it's like, well, like
That's
to
whack.
me, like if
Yeah.
you're a dude like on top of a bitch and she's just like, well, get the fuck
the
up,
fuck off.
For
get
real.
the fuck up, have some fucking common
That shit's about
sense,
to
you
be
know?
out.
Because even if you don't feel like you raped a bitch could still feel like she got raped.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
doesn't matter, like
Yeah.
because body language is a form of communication,
100%.
and like not everybody is aware of that communication. So it's like some bitches, like y'all do need to speak up, but at the same time, body language is a language. Like if it wasn't, it wouldn't be called body language at
Right.
all.
Bottom
it's
line,
like-
you need her consent.
Yeah.
I don't care. Even if you're webbing and you say, "Give me that pussy," she gotta say, "Okay."
Give me
Okay.
that pussy.
She gotta say, "Okay," right?
Every bitch love that song.
She gotta
They're
say,
like,
"All right."
okay, daddy.
How about this? Like, I had multiple girls tell me it's okay to wake me up 3:00 in the morning.
Okay, she gave you consent.
All right.
You had
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh
just
yeah.
Yeah, you had it. Yeah.
All right.
Yep. You got that shit.
All right, but then your shit face. You know what I mean? You done gave me this consent, but you were sober. But
Yeah.
now-
said weeks ago.
Yeah.
But you
now
know,
we-
like-
now we're drunk. was drunk
You should
the
just
night
avoid
before, you know?
avoid
Yeah,
sex with
avoid
a
it.
stranger when you're drunk.
Yeah.
Say, this
With
could
your
even-
girlfriend, maybe, but
Man.
I'm just saying, like,
was
I'm
shit
pretty
crazy.
sure Bill Cosby had his regulars. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, people pulling up, they've been chopping for a while. You know what I'm saying? But it was just
Chopping.
like, it was like,
Chopper style, chopper style. Is that what he meant?
she won't chop chop.
Yeah,
She won't chop chop.
That's what he
Yes,
meant. Oh
yes.
my God.
Now we know.
I'm offended.
And I was
I'm
around
just
my
kidding.
parents like chop style, chop
We didn't
chop,
even-
stop.
Yeah.
She won't chop chop well. She
Now
wanna
I know.
Yeah.
She
wanna
wanna
do that.
smash.
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Like, when
Man,
they
our
was
parents, of
partying,
course.
it was everything was just copacetic. You know, they was having some drunk sex maybe or whatever.
Yeah.
But now it was we was really fucked up. But you gave me my consent. 3:00 I could turn it up. But now you're saying, oh no, I was fucked up. I don't remember.
So that's like if your mind changes, you need to say it.
Right.
Like
You gotta speak up.
you know,
Men are fucked for this subject.
yeah.
Like, I feel
either
bad
way,
for-
either way, y'all gonna be wrong off top.
I want the listeners
If it
to hear
goes to
this.
court,
shit.
you're
Yeah,
wrong.
but like as a woman, like if you feel uncomfortable, you should say something. And then like on the same hand, if you fucking some nigga you don't know how he's gonna react.
Facts.
Like
Yeah.
you could say no and he keep fucking going, but it's just like it can be scary to speak up and say something, especially when you know off top the person on top of you is stronger than you. So it's like, well, if they want to keep going, they're gonna do it anyway. So I might as well get into it, act like I like it, so I don't get hurt. Like I may be hurt
I heard stories
emotionally,
of that.
huh?
I heard stories.
Yeah, like it's like I
scary.
may not be hurt
Damn, I hate
emotionally,
that.
but physically, like I could be fucked up if I say something. So like, let me just take this emotional trauma real quick, you know, take one L real quick, and then I'm gonna be good.
But it sucks that shorties even put themselves in that predicament. You know what I'm saying?
But sometimes you don't know. Like sometimes you don't know you're gonna be there.
Heard.
True. Well, this is a good time to wrap up. We did look at God, so should we do social media handles again?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Just so you guys know, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Search. Sorry, I thought they stopped recording. Apple Podcasts. Search Young and Getting It Podcast. There's no G at the end of Getting. Please subscribe, rate, and review. You can also find us on SoundCloud.com/WeAreYAGIP. Please follow us on there and comment on there. We're also on YouTube.com. Just search Young and Getting It Podcast. There's no G at the end of Getting. Please subscribe and leave a comment on there. We're also on Google Play, Stitcher, and Pocket Casts.
And we're also on Twitter and Instagram at YAGI_podcast. We have our website, www.weareyagip. We have our email, ashleyandninapod@gmail.com. And our Google Voice number, 323-486-3811. I promise y'all, I'm going to check it soon.
Yes.
I'm going to check it.
Yes.
What's up? It's EmekaSwain right here. It's _EmekaSwain. I want to send a big shout out to the wonderful ladies right here, Young and Getting It Podcast. Extremely thankful. Thank you.
Righteous, man. But this is Flyhighdru. That's DRU on Twitter and Instagram. Also, you can find all of our content, Do Work Media Live on YouTube. Also, our podcast is our podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. That's under Do Work Media. But yeah, find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Instagram, Do Work Media, CoffeenDutches. You heard? Seth, what's up?
All right, this is your boy PrujusJones. You can get me at Twitter at PrujusJones and also on Instagram _Prujus. That's PRUJUS Jones.
Thank you for spelling it out for the
Yeah,
people.
know.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hit us up
Appreciate you.
whenever you're in the truck. We normally have events going on. And again, you can always just follow us, listen to our podcast weekly.
Yeah. And
But y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Definitely. Young
Yes.
and Getting It Podcast, SoundCloud, iTunes.
Yes.
All the handles, you know, y'all. We just laid it all out. But subscribe because we got a lot of work out here for you.
Yeah, and hit us up. So YAGI Podcast. Ooh.
Uh-uh.
YAGI Podcast, CoffeenDutches Podcast. Collab episode in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Also, in the book.
Yes.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.